Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades.
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
What's up?
Hallelujah. We have arrived. It's only taken like, I don't know, 2 months or plus or something like that. We tried to, it's Gas Masks and Hand Grenades. I'm your host, Jeff. My co-host, my partner in crime over here, Mr. Dennis OG Press. We've been away for a little while. We actually planned to do this one quite a long time ago, but just holidays, and I took a break in November and took most of the month off. Then we had holiday shit happening, and Dennis was busy, and so it was just kind of. And then we were going to do this last Thursday night,
Yep.
but Dennis's wife's car took a shit on her. Literally right at about a half hour before we were supposed to go live.
Yep.
And then I had been interviewing the Medusa's Discos guy on Thursday afternoon, and they packed my bowl full of some green leafy substance. I thought it was oregano, and it was funny because I had one beer prepping for you to come on. Like I drank one beer earlier during the interview with Jeff, or I'm sorry, from Ben from Crimson Glory, and I smoked like 2 hits off that bowl, dude. I was like, no fucking way we're doing this tonight. I couldn't even. I was sitting here with my phone in my hand going like this, like literally falling the fuck asleep, man. It was terrible. I was ultra baked. So hold on here. I need my phone. So yeah, man, we're back. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hanging in there, man. You know, with me, it's day by day usually. Today I had I went to see my third ophthalmologist to get a second opinion, but it was like 2 years on from seeing the first guy. And when I went out to Cleveland, the neurologist was like, well, I'd really like you to get a second opinion on this. And this guy's opinion completely conflicted with the first guy, which said I had optic neuritis. So here I am back to like, what the fuck? Where do I go? I know what I'm seeing. I know my eyes are all fucked up. But, the exams they did seem to be okay. So it's like, it's a wonder I get up every day. I keep thinking, why bother, But it's just what it is. So, so it's kind of a weird day in that respect. But, yeah, man. So it's been I've had a busy couple weeks. Lots of cool interviews, which is kind of the lifeblood of the channel. I don't get the kind of views they should, but whatever, who cares? I don't know. I'm not special like other people, apparently. But I do what I do, and I enjoy it. And got some cool people coming up tomorrow at noon Eastern time. I'm going to throw this out there now. Tomorrow at noon, I've got Isaac from Blood Incantation, Wayfarer, Stormkeep, Lycotonin. So Isaac Falk is coming on tomorrow at noon. And I was kind of surprised because he's the one that wanted to do it earlier in the day. I'm like, dude, man, not cool. Like, rock stars aren't supposed to get up before like 2 p.m. What's up with that? So, but that's going to be a cool one. I'm really stoked to do that one. And then the 19th, I've got Hamish Glencross from Godthrum, My Dying Bride, Valenfire. He's coming on. And I'm still working to get the Steve Wilson thing sorted out. I'm beginning to wonder if that's not going to happen now. Suddenly they were all gung-ho, and then they kind of ghosted me. So we'll just sort of see what happens here. Hopefully they're going to follow through. But anyways, good to see Nate. And we've got AZ Mick. We've got Shiki Gamma Funeral 8. Okay. Is that one of your guys?
Not one of my guys. I mean,
Shiki
I don't
Gamma
know. I don't know who my guys are.
Could be. I don't know. My guys. And we got Frederick. Long time no see, Frederick. What's happening there? The Zunk is here. And all right, dude. So we're getting back to Forgotten Metal Gems of the 80s and 90s. And we cheated a little bit on this one because for the Fields of Nephilim, we decided to just do all the albums. So we're going to do the post-breakup album after Elizium. That is Zoon, which was kind of basically Carl McCoy's ministry-styled, electronica-based, heavy, I mean, you could draw parallels to, they could have very much been an influence. I don't know what the timing is here, but definitely a Rammstein vibe to some of their stuff, only it's not in German. And then we're going to talk about Morning Star, which was the last Fields album, I think came out in 07 or 08. And I think everything else, we're going to do 3 Devastation albums, which is all they've done.
Yep.
We're going to do 3 Nasty Savage albums, plus the EP. I did do the EP. I don't know if you listened to that.
I did.
Okay. And then we've got 5 Fields albums and 2 Blue Murders. And I think we'll save the best for last with the Blue Murder. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it because you seem to have an interesting. You were going to surprise me a little, I think. So, but anyway, dude, what's going on over in your neck of the woods? Anything major?
No, man. I just been busy with work. I get kind of it's not a new position, but a position where I'm basically in charge of my whole business. So. I'm doing this for a while, so it's like I don't have the time to like do videos right now. I mean, I do, but I get I have my family shit and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. You don't want to live it.
Yeah, it's a little something I'm doing on the I have to do extra, so it's taking up a lot of my time. Plus, I don't want to get burnt out. Like I see all these guys like they do so many videos, man. I'm like, shit. You know me, man. I do a video when I feel like doing a video.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I don't do it just.
You don't live it,
right? I don't do it just to keep blabbing about stuff over and over again. It's like
me.
I mean, I'm just saying it's not. I'm not trying to say that's a bad thing for some people. Like that's how they express themselves. But I have a lot of other stuff going on where I'm not going to just sit here.
Right. I mean, it's a little different for me because my kids are grown. Pretty much, they're gone. They're not even in my oldest daughter's in the state, but there's always issues there. And then my youngest daughter's in Nashville, so I don't, I only talk to her a couple times a month. I don't really see her. She's supposed to do one of these dad episodes with me now for like the last couple of months, and she's been ghosting me. But then the other thing is I don't have a girlfriend because of my health issue. Like if I was healthy, man. Trust me, your boy here would be swimming in it. I'm just saying. I'd be swimming.
That luscious hair.
It is. You know what? I went to the fucking eye doctor today, and this young girl goes, "Sir, I love your hair. It's so cool." I'm like, "It's called Gandalf hair." But anyway, yeah. But because of my health, I just choose not to be involved with anybody. Like, who's gonna want this fucking dying corpse? You know what I mean? But yeah. So. Anyway, what you drinking? I'm drinking a juicy monkey.
Oh, okay. So I got these girl drinks that someone brought over yesterday for the Super Bowl. These Malibu.
Oh, look at those.
I guess they actually have Malibu in them. They're not. They're probably like fucking malt beverages with.
They are probably, yeah.
Made with Caribbean rum, so. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say malt beverage on it, but they're pretty good, actually. But I thought I'd drink these because they were free.
But what is it like? Is it a cider? Like a hard cider?
No, they're actual cocktails. This one's a peach rum punch.
Oh.
And they're 7% too. So
there you go. That should get a little bang for your buck there. So.
They're sweet as shit, though. They're super sugary.
That's the problem with those, man, dude. And you know what's weird, man? I used to love stouts, last couple times I tried to drink a stout, I've not been into it, man. They've been way too sweet. I do like the sours, the juicy monkeys and stuff, the IPAs, but even them, kind of, man, too much sugar.
Yeah.
But so, dude, we I think the last one we did of this was like late September, wasn't it?
Was it that far?
Or did we do one in October? We might have done one in October.
I think we did one. I think our last one was like in October.
Yeah. And we I'm trying to remember what the last one we did was. Do you remember? Was it the Laz Rocket?
Yeah, Laz Rocket.
That actually was the end of September, dude. It was September 30th.
Okay. But then we did the Dad episode in like
we did the Dad, Merciful Fate, and King thing. And then we also did the Monster thing. We also did Catacombs.
Yeah, we did. We've done stuff. So
yeah. So yeah, man. So we picked these a while back, and you picked with the help of some of the peanut gallery. You picked Devastation from Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we went with Nasty Savage from Florida.
Yep.
One of the OG thrashy metal bands out of South Florida. Well, actually, they were the Tampa area, Sarasota area, which we seem to know a lot of dudes from that area and the bands there. And then I picked the Fields of Nephilim, which, okay, you could kind of argue and say, well, that's not really metal, dude. And I guess to some extent you'd be right. But there's a good bit of metal in their songs. Some albums a little more than others. But, you know, okay, so the title is Metal Gems. I'm stretching it. Why? Because it's my fucking show, man. I can do what I want. If I want to do long forgotten goth gems, then we're going to do something like that. So, but we did, yeah, so that was the other one. Then the other one was kind of the hair metal, the glam metal, the pretty boy metal entry, and that is Blue Murder. And I got some good things to say about that band that, you know, I don't really care. Right now, I'm getting this out of the way, Frederick. Fuck you, I don't care what you think about Blue Murder, okay? Just saying it. Just being honest. Anyways, so here we go. Let's jump into, how about we do you want to do Devastation first, man? I got to do one thing, though. Shit.
Yeah, we can do Devastation.
Yeah, let's do that first. Give me 1 second here. I did one dumb thing. I forgot to send my cheat sheet to myself in email so I can read my own notes. And then, so yeah, let's start with Devastation. And their first album, you have that one?
Yeah, Violent Termination.
Yeah, that one is called Violent Termination. That came out May 18th, 1987. There we go. I like that. I like the artwork. It's kind of low. It's kind of low key, cool. Hold it up again, then.
Oh, what's the label?
I
can't read it. It's like some, I don't know what the fuck that says. Super small.
Hang on a minute. Let me pull it up. I have two different things up here. Okay, so Forged in Fire. Does that look right?
Forged in Fire?
No. Zombo.
No.
Zombo. Yeah. Zombo. So you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, dude. All right. Well, cat's out of the bag, man. My favorite album of all the records we listen to. Probably.
Oh, you're gonna love me, buddy. You are gonna love me.
Everyone I've ever talked to hates this record, which is fine. I don't really give a shit. This is my favorite Devastation record. It's one of my favorite thrash records. I love how raw and fucking dirty it is. Sounds like a mix of, like, the singer sounds like he's very influenced by the crossover scene, like Cryptic Slaughter and stuff like that. Has a Postmortem vibe to it as well. Another band I really like. But I like how all those different components work, and it sounds like it's recorded almost live as well. I like the I just like it. It's very bombastic and very in your face, like unforgiving. Just fucking, let's just fucking thrash this shit up and make some fucking heavy as shit breakdowns. Super catchy. I know all the songs, and I got this when I was a kid, so it was the first Devastation I ever got as well. Even though when we got it, like me and my friends were laughing at it because it has such funny lyrics on some of the stuff, but I don't even like Massive Devastation has the fucking intro, like the acoustic, like the Creator into the fucking Ripping Corpse song on the Creator record. The intro right into the song, and it just fucking goes fucking just monstrous riffs. Bass is like super kind of loud in the mix, and like I said, the vocals awesome. Breakdown just crushes on this. Innocent Submission, another crusher, rough as fuck. I love that song. Syndrome of Terror, sick riff on that one. Love the bass and guitar gallop on this. And I'll say it right now, this record, but not only this one, this band worships Dark Angel, so a lot of riffs sound like Dark Angel, but this one, they kind of mix in a Teutonic thrash as well, so you get some Creator and maybe some Destruction vibes here and there, and then, like I said, a lot of crossover elements that aren't present on the next album. So Violent Termination, this one has some Slayer riffage, heavy raw, fucking just has like some really sick riffs, almost death metal style. Death is Calling kind of has a For Whom the Bell Tolls intro, but pretty raw. Again, early Dark Angel. Meet Your Maker just pummels, man. That song's so heavy. It's like a rumbling tank. That's what I wrote. Rumbling tank.
Rumbling tank. Ooh.
Insanity. Ripping speed.
Poetic license is awesome.
Breakdown Kills. Deceptive Slaughter, another crushing intro that speeds up slowly, goes into a kind of crossover beat and vocals, has kind of a warbly sounding bass to it. And then Beneath the Surface, another straightforward thrasher with another mid-crushing breakdown in it. Just fucking great fucking record. Every time I put this on, I know like every song. I know all the fucking choruses and stuff on it. Killer record. Always love this record. I don't understand the hate it gets. Go on Metal Archives. It's got a 28.
Oh, that's generous. Just wait till you hear what I have to say.
This is what I believe is that people listen to the other records and then go back to this. So if you read the reviews, they're like,
I started here. Not gonna lie.
But
let me ask you this: do you recall how we did this? I forget how we did this. You go and then I go and then we go the next time, or do you go through your whole thing? I forget.
You smoking that green again?
I wasn't. That's the weird thing. I totally forget how we did it. I think we go one after the other, right?
Yeah, you go after me, and then
right. Then you go the next album, and then right. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But yeah, for me, 10 out of 10. The only thing it's good and bad. The production's pretty bad, which I get. But like I said, it's demo quality, which I like. I mean, that's my thing, right? So
right, true.
So I like this. It's raw. It's uncompromising fucking thrash metal from what year? 87?
87.
Yep.
So not far off from the early guys. I mean, very relatively close. You know, you had probably Slayer SA was another thrash band down in Texas.
Yeah. And they weren't even that thrash. They were more like metal, like heavy metal.
Yeah.
Speed metal, I guess.
But they might have been one of the first. But I got to ask a question, Dennis. Was the singer awake when he sang this song? Was he awake? Like, was he? He was awake.
He was.
Okay, Rodney, if you're watching, I would like you to call me and let me know if you were wide awake when you cut this album. Because when I listened to it, so to me, this is very mind-numbingly average. The guitars are monotonous and the sound is kind of inconspicuous tone-wise. The vocals are weird, like he's sleepwalking through them a lot. The bass is prominent, though, and that's probably one of the highlights of it. Very basic production, rudimentary at best, same drum beats the whole way throughout, dude. Like, I hear literally the same drum beat through every song. Vocal delivery, pretty much the same throughout, like a really low budget, James Hetfield crossed with Cronus. Very little ability to create melody. It does get better, okay? I promise. It gets better. The leads might be the best part of the songs on this thing. And while most are okay, they're not exactly super complex or super tuneful to my ear. The song that he does, I think it's at the beginning there. Your head is filled with fear. No death is near. Don't cry. Don't you cry. Your soul now belongs to me. He just sings it all in one monotone. I'm like, is this dude like awake, or was he on Valium when he cut this, or what the fuck, man? He probably was.
That's what I love about this. I feel like this band hadn't gelled yet. They all had different ideas, and they all brought them to the table, and then they cut a record. I mean, they had a demo before this, so
yeah, pretty good. As Devin says, it's very not good, except for the OG. But anyways, Syndrome of Terror has some heavy.
Yeah, please don't re-record this, Nate. No re-recording. That would be horrible.
Oh yeah, OG Press hates re-records, man. That's not.
They're
cool.
horrible.
That's not cool in his book.
Waste of time.
All right, so Syndrome of Terror has some heavy riffs, but the vocal delivery is meh. Drums often sound like they aren't in time. Meet Your Maker has a cool intro riff, but again, production doesn't know favors, and the timing seems to be a slight issue. Then it morphs into a more thrashy on Valium vibe. The vocals are kind of hilarious almost, following a sing-songy style that just, to me, isn't very good. I get where you're coming from. You have a nostalgic place for it, too. I think some of your attraction to it is it was early on. You got it originally when you got into.
I mean, I got the next one at the when it came out too, and I don't feel the same way about it. So.
Interesting. Okay, the dropout at Meet Your Maker is kind of hilarious. That dropout where it stops and then it kicks back in. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like what? Let's see. The monotone delivery of the vocals is just a major turnoff for me. Music's okay if a bit underproduced and flat overall. Not much to get excited about in this. It's not horrifically unlistable. It's just pretty dull to me overall. I've heard this album. If I heard this album first, I never would have bothered with them going forward, which would have been a mistake, because the next one's gets a little better, and the last one's quite good, really quite good. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10, my dude. I know that hurts you. You're like, fuck this guy, man. Fuck this guy. I'm never coming back now after this. But that's it. Okay, so moving on. The Signs of Life, which came out October of 87. No, not 87. Where am I at? Hold on.
88?
89. That came out October 2nd, 89 on Combat. So they've jumped up a little bit here to a bigger label, right? There we go. I like the artwork. It's kind of weird, quirky.
Yeah, this is like copied from some other art that came out.
Not shocking.
Yeah, somebody, I don't know who did the cover, but this was taken from something else. Someone just
kind of almost looks like it would be an early Deceased cover or something like that.
Yeah, it was like a fantasy like poster or something, and someone just redid it for this album. And you can see the guys here. There's a lot of difference here. Now they made a little bit of money, got a Levi's jacket and some leathers compared to right here when they were just wearing sleeveless shirts.
Yeah.
And the singer grew out his hair.
Yeah, he did. That's true. Yep.
So that's why I'm thinking he was like more of a punk guy when they started, and then like as they went on, he became.
Well, from what I heard, from what I understood, he never really sang in a band until this thing.
It's not going to be as good when you go from Pleasure to Kill to Terrible Certainty. So yeah. But anyways, man, this album's good. I'm not saying it's a bad record. It's just to me, this just sounds like Darkness Descends to me. It sounds very, very Dark Angel. A lot of the riffs are almost copied, and that keeps going on through their career even into the next record. It's like, oh my God, dude. Okay. We get it. Like you guys like Dark Angel. But for me, I like a lot of the songs on this, like Eye for an Eye kind of picks up where the last record is, but like somebody like went in and was like, let's fucking redo this song that you guys did for the last record, but with like good production.
Yeah, that needs to be said. The production is a much
way
up.
It's a completely different. That's like, you can consider that first record like a demo, and this record is like their first release, I guess.
Yeah.
Vocals are more Rob Reinhardt again, less punkish. Mid sounds kind of like Slayer. There's a lot more Slayer in this stuff than there was on the first record.
Right.
Desolation, very Dark Angel, Black Prophecies sounding, bone crushingly heavy though. I love that song. Manic Depressive, fast rager, fast aggressive, fucking just good thrash. Signs of Life adds a Bay Area kind of vibe. Almost sounds like a Violence track to me. Breakdown Kills again. This band had a really good grasp on breakdown. So almost every song they have, halfway through it starts going like every song, like almost every song has a heavy breakdown part. Retribution kind of goes through the, more of a straightforward, goes for the throat thrasher. Tomorrow We Die, absolutely banging track, dude.
That's the best track on the album by far.
Yeah, vocals kind of part back to the first record for me. The way he sings it. Contaminated, another ripper, total thrash attack. Fear the Unknown kind of has a Bay Area crunch on this one. Almost Exodus vibe, more later Exodus.
Yeah.
Escape to Violence, another killer track, fast and brutal. But yeah, great record. I give it an 8 out of 10 for me. I like it a lot. It's just not something I'm going to grab. Unless it's one of those things where you're like, what am I going to listen to? I haven't heard that Devastation in a while. I'll throw that on. So it's not, if I want to listen to Devastation, it's always going to be the first record for me. Just because, like you said, that's the first one I heard. It had a lasting impression. I think the songs are a lot catchier, even though it's a worse produced record. I think it's a catchier record for me. I know the songs a lot better, where this album, they all kind of just.
Why? I think that's the biggest problem with this album for me is the production is way better, like light years better. Okay. So the song composition and overall quality of the material. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Yeah, production far better. Vocals aren't like the dude sleepwalking through all the songs. But the biggest problem for me is almost all the songs sound pretty much the same.
Yeah. The
whole way through. There's just not a lot of variety. The riffs are kind of cookie cutter, kind of similar. Everything's kind of that decent thrashy chug over a solid guitar riffs. And while there's no real vocal variability at all, it's better. He doesn't literally sound like he's falling asleep during some of the songs. So it's much better than the first album in that respect. Tomorrow We Die is the best song on the album. Might even be one of the best. Might be their best song they did actually. And there's good stuff coming up on Idolatry. And then Fear the Unknown is cool. It has that slower bit in the beginning that kind of builds. Kind of has a little bit of a weirdly Beneath the Remains sort of vibe to it, just ever so slightly. The guitar player, great guitar players. One of which I guess died recently in 23.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dave Burke died September 2nd. He was only 57.
Damn.
Yeah, he was born like 2 weeks before me. So I don't know why or what the story is there, but he just died recently. So let's see here. What else do I have on this? So I'm gonna go a 5.5 out of 10. I know that's
5.5.
Yeah, it's still kind of low, man. It's just too much sameness.
Okay.
Like if they had more variety of the Tomorrow We Die.
I get you. I said it was samey too, but I mean, it's a thrash record. I'm not expecting like.
But like for example, I listened to this thing 3 times because it's only like 35 minutes, 37 minutes long. Other than Tomorrow We Die and Fear the Unknown, I could not remember the songs. Like I was like, "What?" I just listened to it. Why can't I remember how that one goes?
I get you.
I mean, some of it's the style of music, some of it's the ferocity and everything, but some of it's just that They just had a lot of samey riffs. That was the problem for me on that one. So now they make a huge improvement on this last album. Their last album, right? It's their last one.
Yep.
Right.
Idolatry.
So this is Idolatry.
Yep.
And this comes out 91, I believe. I'm curious. Yeah, April 23rd, 1991 on Combat again.
So it's coming out kind of late in the game too.
Yeah, they were kind of, now you're talking, what's coming out around then, like interesting little thing. I'm not going to say one band, but you got what's coming out thrash wise around 1991. I mean, yeah, when was God damn it. God damn it. Fucking Christ, are you serious? The Metallica album, And Justice. And Justice was 88, right?
Yeah, you're thinking of Black Album came out in 90, didn't it?
That was 90. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, what good stuff was coming out in 1991 in thrash?
It was all death metal. There was like hardly any thrash.
Yeah, a lot of it had switched to death or black metal, first wave black metal.
Yeah.
Or second wave black metal.
Second wave, yeah.
So yeah, so it's just kind of weird, man. I mean, but this album, man, there's something pretty fucking good about it. The songwriting in particular. So go ahead.
All right. Well, I only have the CD of this one. I don't have the vinyl because I wasn't listening to Devastation at the time anymore. So like I was only listening to death metal.
They weren't cool enough for you. Just say it.
No,
just say it. They weren't cool enough.
I actually saw them, I think, on this tour because they were still on Combat. So they were still touring with like Death and those kind of bands. I didn't see them with Death, I don't think, but they were touring with like all the Combat roster bands. So
right. Were they out on? They weren't out on that Ultimate Revenge, right?
No.
Well,
no.
I didn't think so.
But this one, it seems like it came out late too, like
September or April. Yeah.
This isn't super different from the last album. Again, I think the production's even better than the other record.
Oh yeah.
I love the guitar sound on this is really good.
Killer.
I love the guitar sound on this. Yep. Deliver the Suffering starts with a Hellraiser type intro, like the chains and shit, and then like I said, the guitar is heavier, more distorted. Like they're trying to get heavier, but they can't go full death metal, so they're like, let's just make it heavier. I put Dark Angel on speed.
Yeah,
shit is lethal. Got some definite death metal riffage on it, rhythms. Vocals are a little rougher too than from the last record, but not like way different. They're just a little bit more lower, not growly though. Free Will is a total fucking Sepultura inner self type of song.
Yeah,
you can tell they were listening to Sepultura at the time.
Yeah.
Killer track though. I like that track. Forsaken Hatred starts heavy again and works its way into a fast and then into a mid-pace thrasher. Souls of Sacrifice, probably my favorite song on this record. Very memorable riffage.
Great riffs.
Man. Again, just a heavy banger. Double bass is fucking insane on this song. Mm-hmm. Idolatry, killer acoustic intro, and then again,
that's the beneath the.
That's another one. Like, I think they're definitely going for a Sepultura type of vibe on this, but they don't necessarily sound like Sepultura.
No, not at all.
They have that vibe, that just like fast, heavy thrash. Legacy of Faith. Fuck, dude, that riff's distorted, heavy as shit. Yeah, I love that song. Subconscious, another banger. Kind of reminds me. It has almost a Deicide riff to it.
Yeah.
Song rips. Never Believe ends on a total face melter, fast, brutal, and heavy. I mean, you can pretty much just say this record's fast, brutal, and heavy.
Every track.
Which it is. It's a really heavy thrash record.
Yep.
Almost bordering on death thrash, but the vocals kind of stay just in the thrash realm where they don't get into like anything heavier than, like you said, Devin, almost more like Demolition Hammer, that kind of brutal thrash It's a great record. Again, though, for me, like this record sounds very much like every song almost sounds the same. And there's still a lot of Dark Angel vibes in it. It's not as samey as the last record. There's songs that like work their way out, maybe like 3 songs that are different instead of 2 songs on the last record. But
see, that's weird. I don't hear that. It's weird how we hear things differently.
And like for me, towards the end of this record, I'm like, all right, man, we get it. Like,
well, it's longer. It's their longest.
Like
it's their longest
Dark
one.
Angel. What's a fucking song on it? Like Leave Scars. It's like every like they just take stuff from where I'm hearing. That's probably my issue. Is I hear other bands when I hear this, and I'm just like, okay, that's that riff, that's this riff. Like, and I get it. Like bands take stuff from other people, but they didn't change it enough for me to like not hear that when I listen to it. So it affects my way I rate this record. I'm still gonna give it an 8 out of 10, the same as the last one. It's not. I like the production more. I think it's more brutal. I like the other one because it's more thrashy. So. And then I like the first one because it sounds. I think the songwriting's just better on it. So
the first one sounds like it was recorded in a porta potty, which is why.
Right, but all the songs you can identify as different songs. They don't all sound the same. It's not like okay, these songs all sound like. I can tell.
It's weird, man. I don't
Maker from a bunch of like all their other songs.
Yeah, I don't really hear that on Idolatry. That's where I noticed, like that the quality of the song composition was much better because. Like, okay, Deliver the Suffering starts out on the right foot, super thrashing and heavy, infinitely more tight and catchy. The intro to Forsaken Hand, almost proggy, weirdly. And the tempo and the tightness and overall sound is much better. The guitars are savage, man. I love the guitar tone on this, man.
Yeah, for
guitar tone is thick and mesa, very mesa boogie, man. That scooped mid sound of that era of, kind of like the Laz Rocket sound, man. That just fucking savage mesa tone that chops your fucking head off, right? Yeah. Then what else we got here? Soul Sacrifice has some ripping, crushing riffs.
Love that.
Very thick and messy sounding, but and the guy sounds a little. Dunsmore sounds a little like James Hetfield era Lightning vibe on that one. Idolatry has that cool AKA Beneath the Remains acoustic intro, super tight mid recto sound. Again, that rectifier sound on the guitar, much better. It's kind of Dunsmore sounds a little bit like a crazed cross between Cronus and Lemmy on this album. He's got a little bit of a Lemmy rasp on his voice that he didn't have before. And then the song Subconscious. I don't know if you caught this, but in the lyrics for I believe it's the chorus, he says, twisted into form.
Oh,
Did you
really?
catch that?
No.
So they had to have been listening to a little bit of Forbidden.
Probably.
Because where else would you get that?
I mean, and like that makes sense. This record's more technical than their other records.
Right,
too.
far more. Yeah. A lot more technical guitar work. So huge, massive improvement in songwriting, riffs, catchiness, and vocals. I give this an 8.5 out of 10, man. I dug it quite a bit. Enough that I won't be picking up the first 2. I'm just going to be honest with you. But this one, if I run into it in the store somewhere, I'd grab it, no doubt. Yeah. So overall, with Devastation, an interesting band that maybe never quite had the big label money behind them or the right situation. I know they toured some, like some national touring. I don't know if they went overseas or not back in the day.
Yeah.
But they had some success because you didn't jump on Combat unless there was something happening for you a little bit, right? But they probably never were able to completely follow through on that success because of money and being from Texas, not being in San Francisco or LA.
It just came out at the wrong time. Like this stuff was just late in the game for thrash. That's a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Like nobody was listening. Nobody was listening to thrash anymore. It was like I'm just listening to stuff like Broken Hope and fucking Cannibal Corpse or something, like a bunch of these guys were. So they were like, and then they would put bands like this, like Devastation and Sacrifice on, and they mix them in with death metal bands, and then you'd have like, they'd get shit on because like you couldn't be cool listening to thrash in '91 because, you know,
I guess. I mean, I never worried about that shit, but
well, I mean, the scene was like very, very anti-thrash because
I'm sure. Yeah.
Thrash was already very commercialized at that point. The way that death
that's a good point.
So
yeah, it became very commercial. Yeah.
Devastation from Chicago kills, man. I love that.
I don't know them. So
I mean, it's another brutal thrash band.
Do you want to jump to one of my bands, or do you want to do?
Let's do it.
All right, which one do you want to do?
I mean, whatever you want. I'll do either one. Your pick. Your bands.
I think I'd like to talk about Blue Murder first because I really want to leave Fields for last. So
okay.
All right. So let me pull up Blue Murder.
You trying to get people to turn off the video then? They're like, Fields, fuck this. It's not metal.
Hey, man. I got some shit to say about Blue Murder.
Do you?
Let me just hold on 1 second here, though. I got to pull up. Where the hell is it? There we go. I cheated a little bit this time. I was not as, even though I had like months to prepare, I didn't pull up my usual thing. So, all right. So, Blue Murder forms 1988 in Los Angeles. It includes guitar phenom John Sykes, ex-Thin Lizzy, ex-Tigers of Pantang, ex-Whitesnake. Also includes Tony Franklin of The Firm and Mr.
Carmine Appice.
Carmine Appice, yes. Now, the interesting thing to note that I did not realize about this
How
band.
many bands has Carmine Appice been in?
8,442. And he's the best player in all of them. He'll tell you that. I'm telling you right now. Carmine seems like a cool guy. I'd like to interview him. But he definitely, the ego, he doesn't mind laying it out there. I get it. But here's a weird thing, man. Get this. Tony Martin sang lead vocals initially.
I know.
Cozy Powell was on drums. And Ray Gillen was on vocals for a short while before Badlands, before he went to join Jake with Badlands. Can you imagine these albums with fucking Ray Gillen singing?
Right.
Oh, my God. And Sykes is great on these albums. No problem with Sykes at all.
Well,
but Ray Gillen? Huh?
I think I read, too, somewhere when they listened to the tracks, they were like, no, dude, you're better than him. Like, let's keep you instead.
For who? For Sykes?
Yeah. They wanted
when they
Sykes
did
to do the vocals. And I know why. Because fucking Gillian was an old man, and they wanted, like, Sykes out there with his hair and no shirt. Have you seen the video for Jelly Roll?
Dude, he's a fucking good-looking cat. I'm just saying, no homo here, no gay. I'm not gay at all. I'm celibate these days. But I'm telling you right now, if I was a chick, I'd be boning that dude hard. No doubt. No doubt. That guy was one good-looking fucking guy. He looks a little weird now. He looks like he's had facial stuff done, like surgery.
Probably.
Which is funny because he hasn't worked in about 40 years. But, you know, he's had this solo album that's been teased for fucking 8,000 years, and it's yet to come out. It's leaked 8 million times, but then you hear, oh, that's not the final mixes. Oh, that's not the blah, blah, blah. Oh, he went to this label. It's like, whatever, dude. Like, put something out or fucking before one of us dies, right?
Keeping everybody on the edge of their seats.
Yeah, right. All 6 people, right? Anyway, so let's see. Hang on. Where are we at here? So Blue Murder. Let's get back to Blue Murder. Devin was listening to Roll the Bones. Man, I hate half that album. That's one of my least favorite Rush albums. Half of it's good. Half of it sucks. Anyways, Blue Murder. So formed in 1988 in L.A. Power trio. The first album comes out 1988. It is called Blue Murder, self-titled. And it is comes out April 25th, 1989. So what are we almost at the end of in 1989, Dennis?
What do you mean, music wise?
Yeah, music wise, trend wise, like genre wise.
Like glam type stuff.
Glam and hair metal, right.
Yep.
And so you got to keep in mind, this is 2 years post Whitesnake's biggest selling album, 1987,
Right.
which was fucking massive. But and frankly, John Sykes is responsible for a lot of that album, the guitars, the guitar tone, the songs. But he and Dave couldn't come to an agreement. I think there was a big blow up, and that's when Vivian Campbell was brought in. Adrian Vandenberg came in. And then Viv left to go join the River Dogs, who I just talked about recently. And we got to do them. They're going to be one of the bands we're doing next. I'm telling you right now, the River Dogs. Anyway, so, and then Vi comes in and they take off and do the whole stadium tour thing. Whitesnake explodes. But I think the thing is that essentially with Sykes, he wanted to be his own frontman. He didn't want to be behind Coverdale. I mean, can't fault him. He can play guitar better than Coverdale can, clearly. And he was as good looking as Coverdale, if not better looking, because he was younger. And yeah, I know I got like a man crush going here. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Tonight I'll be like, after we get off the stream, I'll be like, am I a homosexual? I just don't know. I'm not sure.
only for Brad Sykes.
Right. But yeah, so, and there's nothing wrong with that. Truthfully, I'm just having fun here. Don't get all woke on me, everybody. There's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm totally cool with it. I'm not going to be gay. That's just me. That's just me. That's all. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. The Blue Murder 1989 debut. Man, this fucking album kicks off with a banger, man. Riot. Savage guitars, man. Savage fucking guitars. There's been a riot. Oh, man. So you can smell the hairspray coming through the fucking vinyl grooves. You can smell it coming at you. It's glorious. The riffs are fucking banging. So goddamn heavy, man. Oh, so good, man. Love that song. Okay, next up. Okay, this one's a little weird. Let's be honest. Even for 1989, the song is called "Sex Child." Sex Child. Whoa, yeah. Woo. I don't know, John. Not your better moments lyrically. I'm just saying. I get it. All you dudes were tapping into the young ladies of the era, and they were. Let's be honest. Were you carding anybody? Probably not. You should have been.
I think this is the follow-up to She's Only 17. I don't know.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so. But man, the lyrics are borderline child abuse, man.
Yeah.
And CP, and it's not a good thing. But the song's a ripper, man. It's a fucking ripper of a song. I'm sorry, it just is. But it's not. Would I have ever let my daughter near these guys? If she was like 15, fuck no way. Next up, we got Valley of the Kings. Oh, this is the prog rock track on the album, and it is fucking glorious, man. It is so heavy, man. The synths are cheesy as hell. All over this album, the synths are cheesy. Very late 80s synths, right?
Yep.
But man, this here is one of my favorite tracks on the album. It is so fucking heavy, dude. And it's actually really kind of a complex song, which is kind of why I say it's their prog rock song on the album. It's just, man, I'll be interested to hear what you have to say about that song, because it just rips. And I mean, the lyrics, man. Man. Let me see if I can remember how this one goes a little bit here. Where he's doing the, the blood will flow, 1,000 souls plead for mercy 1,000 times over. And then when he does, you'll hear it on the wind. You'll hear it on the wind. These sinners never sin. Oh my God, dude. Like, I'm like a dribbling mess when I hear those lyrics. It's like, This is like epic fucking prog dorkery right here, right? Yeah, it's total prog dorkery. Love that song. Very Led Zeppelin-y, very heavy, right? All right. Jelly Roll. I don't need no doctor. I don't need no priest. All I need is my little girl. Whatever he says there. I forgot the last part of the lyric there, but man, come on. That song fucking rules and you know it. I don't want to hear that you don't think it's good because it's fucking great. That's
you got. I think we got to play the video if we can possibly at some point.
Maybe at the end we'll try that.
Man, it's hilarious.
Remind me. Oh, I love that song, man.
Videos I've ever seen.
It's hilarious. Yeah. So you got the snazzy beatbox acoustic 12-string, killer vocal lines, badass production. Oh man, the love will break your heart. Love will break your heart. I gave you all I had to give. Oh man, it's so good. All right, Blue Murder, very Zepp-like.
Yeah.
Very Fool in the Rain. Bum 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 bum. It's got that kind of rhythm to it. That Fool in the Rain rhythm to it. Massive guitars, epic fucking guitars, groovy, jamming as fuck. Then we get to Billy. Billy's kind of the radio song, along with maybe potentially Jelly Roll, I guess. And that's the one where they say he's public enemy number one, but they don't know what's going on. It's so good, man. I love it. Love that track. All right. What else we got here? Then my favorite track on the album, man, Ptolemy. Holy fuck. The riffs on this song. Oh my God, dude. I'm sorry, but there's more riffs on this song than a Luke LeMay Gorguts Erosion of Sanity song. All right, maybe that's a little bit of a hyperbolic statement, but man, dude, fucking incredible. Incredible. God damn, so good. Ptolemy, I just love it. Crushing, intense. You got Tony Franklin's voodoo fretless bass all over that thing. Wow, 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 wow. That liquid, slippery bass. Love it, man. And then it ends on Black-Hearted Woman, man. Bruising, heavier, bluesy slammer. The guitars are epic. Huge as always with Sykes. Yes. Is it cheesy? Yes. Is it 80s? Yes. Is it John fucking Sykes? Yes. Is it kick-ass? 100%. No filler. Almost all killer, no filler. I missed one song. I missed Out of Love Again. The typical late 80s love ballad. Epic hair ballad. Amazing solo, man. Like just mind fucking blowing solo. I'm telling you right now, if John Sykes was here, I would probably have to get on my knees. I just don't know what else I'd do. I'm just saying. This is a 9.5 out of 10 all day, every day. Put some cheese on it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. 8.5 out of 10. Dennis, the floor is yours.
I thought you said 9.5.
Or 9.5. I'm sorry, 9.5. Yeah.
I dropped a point. I was like, what?
I've had a half a beer. I'm already loaded.
All right, man. So I had never heard this band before that I know of. I think it. So I was seeing a girl at the time, and we would always go over to her friend's house, and she was like a massive like Headbangers Ball fan at the time, and I know that Blue Murder would play on here, but I remember they always watch Headbangers Ball, and I was like, God, these songs suck. So I'm sure I probably, even if I saw that video, I'd be like, what the fuck is this shit? But yeah, man. So I really never heard this record. I first time hearing it. Riot, killer hard rock song, man. Vocals, songwriting's on point, man. That's a good song. Sex Child, like you said, again, very cringy lyrics.
Cringy lyrics, man.
I think he says something about young women and coming inside them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It has definitely a Motley Crue kind of kickstart your heart kind of riff to it. And then Valley of the Kings,
A little bit.
more epic sounding, with some cool atmospheric keyboards on it. Probably the best song on this record as far as like actual songs go.
I don't
Jelly
know
Roll.
why, too. We talked about this. I don't know why when I listen to that song, even though it sounds nothing like it, I think of Valley of the King or the HSAS song, Valley of the Kings, I think it's called, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's that killer intro lead and everything. And you were like, oh, this sounds better. It does production-wise. That album doesn't sound good production-wise. But I always think of that song. I don't know why.
But yeah, cool song. Jelly Roll, total late 80s vibe. Imagine, kind of has that extreme vibe to it that I'm on the corner.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Has that fucking, I'm on the corner just jamming my acoustic.
Yeah, what's the extreme song that they do?
I don't know, dude, but I hated that song because they played it all the fucking time.
Well, are you thinking of More Than Words?
Yeah, I think.
It's not. It's heavier than More Than Words, though. It's heavier than More Than Words. More Than Words, like all exclusively acoustic, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's more like that other. Shit, what was that song by them, man? Go ahead. I'll find it.
So yeah, I actually like this song. Don't get me wrong. I think it's super catchy. Blue Murder, killer bluesy hard rock track. Out of Love, really cheesy ballad, but with fucking killer solo on it. And then Billy, kind of a cool, kind of reminds me of a Skid Row song, like a 18 in Life, except it's
very, very much.
Yep.
And actually, that's a good analogy. This album has a lot in common with that first Skid Row album.
Yeah, and then Ptolemy, heavy riff fest, killer hard rocker. I like that song a lot. It sounds different than the rest of the songs on the record, honestly. It's more of a heavier song. And then Black-Hearted Woman, total hard rocker, kind of almost has like a Dokken-like vibe to it. Cool song, though. Overall, I like this record. If I saw it, I'd probably buy it if it was like $3, which it probably is.
Yeah,
because
probably.
Probably made like 80 million of them.
Oh, they did. Yeah. Geffen. So, yeah, huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool record. Definitely something to check out if you're even. It sounds different than a lot of the other bands that were coming out at the time. It definitely has a different, very good songwriting on this record.
It's a quasi Led Zeppelin meets, and by Led Zeppelin, I'm thinking probably like late Led Zeppelin, like maybe the last album. It's kind of got a little bit of that. It's got a little bit of extreme, like you said. It's got, I don't hear the Motley Crue. I get what you were saying.
I only hear it on that one song.
Yeah, I don't really hear it otherwise. It's definitely got White Snake, 87 White Snake in there. Although the next one's more White Snakey than this one to me. There's another band I was thinking of. The song I was thinking of from Extreme, Wholehearted. Wholehearted. Yeah, that one, very similar. You're right, because that's 12-string too. So,
that's probably.
But I wouldn't say these guys sound like Extreme, except for maybe in that one song.
Just that one song.
Yeah.
Because that song's different than anything on the record too. Like that's what's cool about this record is not everything. It just goes in different
right
styles.
You know what this album also reminds me of, dude? Which it was a couple years before, but a lot of it reminds me in some similarities to the second Aldo Nova album.
Okay.
Subject. It's got riffs kind of like it in that heavy sort of vibey thing, but the synths are very of the era. And then the other song, like that song, Out of Love Again, the guitar tone is right out of what's that song that I told you I would sing all the time to all the girlfriends that dump me all the time? What was that song called? Off a Subject. God damn it. Victim of a Broken Heart.
Yes.
You remember I was talking about that? I'm like, but I love that guitar tone. That guitar solo tone is incredible. It's like that on this song. It's very 80s. But it's so good, man. It's so fucking good, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
for me, I give it a 6 out of 10.
Little Mr. Big. Yeah. Mr. Big wasn't as heavy for me. Here's another band. And the album almost came out like around the same time, a little bit after. Hardline. That Hardline album sounds a lot like this. Remember the Hardline album?
No.
We talked about it in an early episode. The guy I went to high school with.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Neil Sean in the band.
Oh, yeah.
Not Cherie. Very much like that, man. Very much so. All right. So the second album, and they only put 2 albums out, Blue Murder, was called, what the hell is it called?
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble. Yeah. So here's, and you said $3. I got it for $8. You might not get it for 3 unless you find it in a cheap cutout. And this one here I got for like 7. Second album, terrible, pretty much terrible album cover.
What the fuck? Is he holding a dead cat? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he's holding the cat up like he's torturing the cat. Holding the cat by its tail. I'm sure
So
PETA
weird.
would love that these days.
Doesn't make, like, why would you put that as your album cover?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty weird. Yeah, very strange, man. Different times. 93 on Geffen. A lot of time spent putting this together. Carmine and Tony did. Carmine says he did 9 of the 11 tracks. Tony did 7, but then they were unceremoniously fired, or there was a big split because I guess money. Why else? By the way, can we just look at? Can we marvel? I mean, sex child. Well, yeah. Look at him. Man. What a handsome Irish fella.
Is that
Everyone's
Jedi?
got their shirts open, man.
Is that Anakin in the middle?
That's Anakin, yeah. No, that's Tony Franklin from The Firm. And then you got Carmine looking like he did come out of the 70s like a
Carmine
70s.
even when he tried to look glam, he just looked the same. It's like, dude, you just look like some old dude trying to look young.
Well, he looks like a pirate.
It's just like he's like, oh, Mary, like spray up my hair again, I guess, for this band. I just did it in King Cobra.
Could you add a little bit of texture and color to my mustache and my beard, man? Come on. Wait, you only gave us a 6.5.
I gave it a 6.
Ugh.
I like it.
I know. Well, I'll be curious to think what. I'll be curious.
I mean,
Somehow
it's not breaking any boundaries, that's for sure.
Well, that's true. That's true. So now they become a 4-piece band, and they're psyched on the end, and actually the dude next to him, right, damn it, there is Marco Mendoza. Although he doesn't play all the bass, he definitely doesn't play any of the fretless bass. Then next to him, I think, is a guy named Kelly Keeling, who actually played with John Norum, and I think he might have played in Hurricane, maybe? Am I wrong about that? Heard the guy's an amazing musician, but a bit of a fuck up, and he actually, if I'm not wrong about this, he actually killed someone later, like in the 2000s. Now I need to check that. So someone fact check me on Kelly Keeling, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not wrong about that. Which one, Wade? We already talked about Devastation already, man. You were singing Living on the Edge. No, I wasn't singing on that. Rick, stop. You're way out of the loop here. I was singing Aldo Nova songs, not Vixen songs, for fuck's sakes. Come on, man. Good Lord. What do you take me for? Some kind of a loser? All right, so Nothing But Trouble. Now they're a 5-piece band. Like I said, Appice and Franklin are out. They've got, Kelly Keeling, Marco Mendoza, and 2 other dudes I've never heard of before. And it kicks off with a great song, man. It kicks off with like the riot of this album, which is We All Fall Down. And it's a good tune, man. It's a rocker. It's got some great riffs on it. And again, it's very much in the same vein as the Riot song off the first album. And then they do a Small Faces cover of Ichiku Park. Now, I got to say, you know this song?
No.
You never heard this song before? From Steve Marriott, The Small Faces? Oh, man. Nobody touches their version, man. I mean, Steve Marriott, what a fucking rock star, dude. But, man, I love this song, and I think they do a killer job with it, man. Itchy Park. You've never heard this song?
No, first time I heard it was on this.
Wow. You got to go listen to the original, dude. You got to listen.
Okay.
You got to. It's so good, man. So, Itchy Park, man. Great cover. Cry for Love, White Snake intro, big time. Right out of like what's it called? Still the Night. Very much that, right? But it's a ripper, man. It's sultry, crawling, heavy riffs, nutty fretless bass on it from Tony Franklin. Great solo. Really dig it. Love that song. Runaway, the actual Out of Love reprise, cheesy 80s ballad. Very Thin Lizzy verse, very Bon Jovi chorus, meh, kind of on it. Dance is the big up-tempo rocker, all about chicks. Huge stacked vocals on the pre-chorus and chorus. Kind of meh on that one, to be honest with you. I'm on Fire, Kelly Keeley on lead vocals on this one. Good, but I prefer Sykes way more. Kind of another generic heavy metal glam track. Save My Love, very much a Thin Lizzy, Still in Love with You ripoff. Very much a ripoff of that song. Or an homage, however you want to say it, an homage or whatever. And you know what? I'm totally cool with it because it's very White Snakey. Is This Love? Has that Is This Love vibe to it. But I can't lie. I love this song, man. I think it's sappy. It's 80s. I love it. And just before you make fun of me at all, Dennis, just remember, you kind of like Thrill of a Lifetime from King Cobra, and I'm always going to bring that back. All right. Love Child. This is the follow-up to Sex Child, I believe. A little less offensive, but not much. Much funkier and gnarlier. Okay, synth. The horn patches are kind of weak. Sounds like Kelly Keeling's on lead vocals as well, and I'm not digging him on this album. Not a favorite track. Shouldn't have you say? Fuck, I've written down wrong. Should Have Let You Go. Okay. Well, right there with that title, you're like, oh no, man. It's gonna be one of those 80s Smurf ballads, man. I can tell, right? And you're right, it is. It's a ballad. And I hate to say it, but I fucking love that track. I love it. Love that track. I just love it. I Need an Angel. Another killer epic power ballad. Shit's heavier than balls and will make you go through a full box of Kleenex at the same time. Just saying. Not because of John Sykes in the Kleenex. It's not about crying your eyes out. That's just for me to know and you to find out. All right, She Knows, the final track, although it's not the final track. Another ballad, but a cool one, mostly acoustic, lots of fretless bass, and almost proggy with strings. Kind of really dig this track a lot. It's a good bit. It's odd to end it on that as opposed to a heavy one, but then it gets into a weird, there's like that, one of those blank things into an unlisted track. And it's a weird track, but I don't hate it. It's kind of a, I don't know, like a jazzy ZZ Top weird thing. So I don't know. I that was kind of a weird end to that, but I'm going a 7.5 out of 5 on this. It's markedly worse than the first album in that the songwriting's not on the same level, but there's still a lot of good shit to get into. John Sykes is still a monster guitar player, dude. And I mean, when everybody talks about, you know, Coverdale and Whitesnake, it really was when he came in the band that band took off with Slide It In and the 1987 album. I mean, you know, some of the riffs on 1987 are iconic, man. You know, and then you hear them on these Blue Murder albums. They're just, the guy's he's a ferocious guitar player. Great singer. And, he's kind of sexy. I don't know. Something like that. All right. How about you?
All right, Nothing But Trouble. This record had no reason to come out in '93. I mean, it's way late in the game for hair metal.
Yeah.
And, I could see why nobody knows this record. Horrible album cover too. Like some kid, he's a bad kid. Apparently,
Yeah,
he holds
apparently.
cats and drives a big wheel in the house. We All Fall Down, upbeat rocker. Kind of reminds me of the way he sings, the way this song goes, and the way he sings it reminds me of that Dragon Force song. That real popular.
Fire and Flames?
Yeah, the way he sings on this.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason, that's all I hear when I hear this. Like there's parts of it where I was like, but he sounds good. I like this song a lot. And then you said Itchy to Park was a cover, right? That's a cover song?
What was that?
The second one's a cover song?
Yeah, it's a cover song of The Small Faces.
Okay, starts off bluesy intro. That sounds like, kind of has, it reminds me of an MOD song called Jim Gordon where it's like, dun, 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 dun. Like it's just.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, then it turns into kind of like a weird mishmash. I hear Beatles, Partridge Family, Led Zeppelin. I hear all that stuff like mixed into this.
It's a late '60s song.
Yeah, so I hear all that kind of stuff.
Size.
Pretty catchy song though.
So what do you do there?
Cry for Love.
Yeah.
This one sounds almost like it has like a Soundgarden vibe to it.
Yeah, it does a little bit. You're
It
right.
has like a '90s almost grunge
Yeah.
sound to it.
Grungy vibe. Yeah.
It's like a hard rock, like a glam hard rock song, but with like a grunge sound to it. Runaway. This reminds me of the Bon Jovi song, but with like real lyrics. Like about these guys don't mince words, man. They're like, she's working, she has like she sells her body on the street. Like they don't.
Wow, it was. Yeah, remember, man. Like everything started to shift in the 2000s with the woke culture.
I like that song. And then Dance has kind of a rat kind of riff to it. Pretty cool rocker. I'm on Fire sounds very. His vocals sound to me like this sounds like a Sammy Hagar song to me.
It's not him. That's not him singing.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
That's Kelly Keeling. Yeah,
which I could tell because this all of a sudden sound. I'm like, why does it all of a sudden sound like Sammy Hagar? But not like.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
Not like Van Halen, Sammy Hagar. Just like
like the shitty Sammy Hagar. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Save My Love, kind of a cool song. Kind of has a soul vibe to it. Love Child it's a fun song, kind of has a Poison vibe. And then Shouldn't Have Let You Go. Pretty good, like glam rocking song, man. I like that song a lot. I Need an Angel, Def Leppard, Full In type of song. Even Rough Cut. Pretty killer ballad. I like that one. She Knows. Dude, this is like a weird song, man. It has like a very prog sound to it. I hear like parts of Zebra in this song to me.
Yeah, you're right. There's a little Zebra in there. Yeah.
Like that. There's Zebra parts. There's like parts of Yes, and then but it's kind of poorly put together. I don't know how to like place it, but it doesn't flow very well.
But I think it does. Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool song. It doesn't. I wouldn't class it as good as a Zebra song, I guess. But or a Yes song, but it's a cool song, and I'm gonna shock you on this one. I like this album a lot more than the first record.
Wow.
I think this album's really fun. Like when I'm listening to it, I was like, this is a fun record. It feels very fresh. Like it feels like the way they put this together, they just were just like, oh fuck it, let's just write songs and like let's have fun doing it. Because '93, I mean, this was not selling. There's
they're probably this. I bet you Sykes either. Well, this is the last thing Sykes did. He hasn't done anything since this album.
Yeah,
there was talk there. There was a while there. I want to say a couple years, maybe 2 or 3 years prior to the Winery Dogs coming out with Mike Portnoy and what's his name? Richie. Fuck, man. The dude that was in Poison for a little while. Fuck, what's his name? Somebody's gonna know. Richie. I can't remember his name. He's actually married to that chick in Vixen. I can't. The bass player. Richie. Oh my God, are you serious? How can I not remember his last name? Fuck. Anyway, before the winery dogs, there was Portnoy was gonna be in a renewal. Kotzen, thank you, thanks, Nate. They were gonna do a reformed Blue Murder with John Sykes, Billy Sheehan, and Portnoy.
Yeah.
And Portnoy just got sick of waiting around for John Sykes. He's like, I've been trying to get this guy off the couch for 7 years to do this album, and it's just not going to happen. And then I guess the thing is, like, I guess Sykes has so much money coming in from the Whitesnake publishing and probably a little bit of Lizzie on the last album and Tigers. He doesn't have to work, you know. He doesn't have to work. Again, that's the only thing I can think of. But go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, David Coverdale lives only about 45 minutes from me, so.
Really? Up at Tahoe?
Yeah.
Have you ever been by his place?
No, but a couple of my guys went up there to do some work at his house, and he's like, I'm David Coverdale. And they're like, who? He's got like pictures of him, like a poster of himself, like a painting in his living room.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
It's like, I'm David Coverdale from Whitesnake. They're like, what
That's
the fuck's
me right there on the wall.
They're like, is that like a venomous snake? Like the white snake?
Hello, darling. Hello, darlings. It's David Coverdale here. I'm here to pillage your wife and make you all worship me when you sing "Is This Love?" Admire my painting of me behind me.
Dude, this reminds me of a really funny story, and I'm sorry to get off topic here, but I think you'll enjoy this. When I was working, like maybe like I want to say like 18 years ago at this, I was like a manager of like this receiving area at a books. It was Barnes and Noble, okay, and we sold sandwiches in the cafe, right?
Yeah.
And this guy came in and he had like a list, like a form of like a shit. What are those forms called? Like an itemized list and like signed and everything.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I'm going to need like 30 sandwiches and this, and I'm going to need all these drinks. And, you know, and they're like, well, dude, like, yeah, we can't do that. He's like, no, it's all paid for. I am Rudolph Schenker.
Really?
So he's claiming he's Rudolph Schenker, and they're on tour, and they need this for all the guys in the, like, all the roadies and stuff. And my buddy who's working there is like, holy shit, Rudolph Schenker's at the store? So he like drives down there, and I guess he's gone. And this guy was an imposter. He was not. But why? Why Rudolph Schenker?
Don't you remember about 10, 12 years ago? I think it was like 2009. There was a guy running around New York City that was saying he was Mike Portnoy, going to bars, and he'd buy the first round. And they'd be like, oh, it's somebody else's turn. And he'd get like them to buy like 10 drinks for him.
Oh, shit.
And he was like this. Yeah, and he was like, look that up. Look up the Mike Portnoy imposter. It took a while. They finally caught the guy. But it's true, man.
It was just like hilarious. Why do you pick that guy? Nobody at the cafe knew who you were except for like the older dude that I worked with.
Why would you pick Rudolph?
And he was like, dude, I'm the biggest fucking MSG fan and Scorpions fan. I'm coming down there to get autographs, and like they were getting him to sign stuff, and so I mean,
at least if you're gonna go big, go Michael Schenker.
Like go anybody but somebody on the Scorpions 18 years ago when everybody was like, who the fuck are the Scorpions?
Yeah. All right,
anyway,
so
I'll give this record an 8 out of 10. I like it.
Wow, goddamn, even higher than me. What the fuck?
Dude, I like this record. It's a fun record. You put this on at a party or something. Total Partridge Family, dude.
That's Itchy Park, man. Off of love that. I love the version they do, man. But I love the original more. So yeah, there we go. Well, not bad. I really thought you would have had the first one up around an 8.
I think that one's more, it feels more like they had to do stuff on that one, or this one they just kind of did whatever they felt like they wanted to do. Where the first one, they had to like have certain songs on it, and you can tell they're kind of forced. Where this one, they just were like, fuck it, we're just going to write like what we want to write because nobody cares about us anyway. So
Cool, man. All right, I'll take it. I'm enthused by that. I'll be curious about the field stuff. We get to that. So, all right. So let's jump to Nasty.
we're there. Oh no, we're at Nasty Savage.
We do Nasty. And first album. Let's see here. Let me pull up some info. Formed in, I believe, Sarasota, or is it Tampa? Sorry, hold on. Formed in 1983 in Brandon, Florida, which is south of Tampa, north of Sarasota. They're like right between, featuring Nasty Ronnie Galletti on vocals, Ben Meyer on guitars, Dave Austin on guitars, Curtis Beeson on drums, and then you got a couple different bass players, Richard Bateman being the most prominent one of those. And, these guys are often talked about along with Sabotage as being one of, and then, of course, the Obituary, Executioner, the bands of the death metal scene. They're actually talked about as being one of the earliest bands. Now, the interesting thing I didn't know, though, was that, I don't know if you knew this, but the first incarnation of Crimson Glory was actually in 1979. Did you know that?
No.
So they were actually around when the very first version of Sabotage started, but Sabotage really didn't get started till 83, which is kind of wild. So, which I didn't realize. But anyways, the first Nasty Savage album is called Nasty Savage.
Yep.
And it came out July of 1985. It was on... Shit, hold on. My bad for not being fully prepared here. So they had two demos out in 80, 83 and 84, and first album came out on Metal Blade. There you go. Yeah. August 30th, 1985. I imagine you have an OG, I'm guessing, right? Of course you do.
Yep.
That bad boy.
Look at those guys.
Yeah, here, let me blow it up a minute. Uh-huh. Where's Nasty Ronnie, in the middle there?
No, he's up there. He's the...
Oh, he's that guy right there. Okay.
Yeah, he's probably doing some wrestling moves or whatever he did on stage.
I'm going to actually work on getting him on, by the way. I think I can get him on.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Seems like somebody that would be pretty fun to interview.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. This is a cool record. All right, you ready?
Really is.
All right, let me get my Nasty Savage notes. And you never heard this band before, right?
I've known about this band for years and years and years. I think I checked them out about 8-10 years ago. I was like, they're too weird for me. I was wrong. I'll tell you why then.
All right, man. So this one, no sympathy, killer riffage, tons of thrashy bass, kind of melodic vocals. Like his vocals are kind of odd on this record. He tries to do some high stuff, and then he's all over.
He's all over on this.
He's all over the place on this record.
But that's actually what's kind of charming about it to me in a weird way.
This song kind of has some chugging Exodus type of riffs as well. I wouldn't call it full out thrash. It has a lot of traditional heavy metal vibes to it as well. And then Gladiator, man, hard as fuck, man. This riff's sick. I love this song. Rougher vocals. Gladiator.
Gladiator.
The music on this is killer, man. You can tell. You can tell where all these like dudes from Florida got their styles from. Like they worship Nasty Savage, like Death and Atheist and all these bands. Fear Beyond Vision, more of a melodic power metal song. Killer, Metal Nights, Killer straight up metal song about metal.
Who would have thunk it?
Right? Garden of Temptation, cool, get like acoustic interlude into Asmodeus. Killer Speed, power metal song, reminiscent of kind of early Sabotage and Hollow's Eve, that kind of stuff. Very, very 80s sounding. Dungeon of Pleasure. I love this song, man. Ripping speed metal attack. The Morgue, more of a slower, heavier song, kind of like about zombies and stuff. Instigator, cool song, but not my favorite on the record. Psychopath, kind of has that Thing intro, doom 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 doom, and then Killer fucking Ripper. End of Time kind of has this kind of sounds like early Slayer, kind of has an aggressive Perfector vibe to it. Killer shit, man. Great record. And a lot of people don't talk about Nasty Savage that much, and I get
no, they don't.
They're a little, I guess, I don't know, under the radar, and they didn't come out that late. I mean, I remember hearing Triple X back on a Metal Massacre compilation.
Right.
I think that was off the demo when they put that on.
Yeah, it's not like this was like 1980. I mean, it was
right.
83, 84 when everything was blowing up.
Right, but for some reason, this band kind of got, I don't know what it was, but they never got the accolades. Yeah, I know maybe it was because of their stage show and they were doing like the wrestling and the fire blowing and stuff. It was like a little, and it wasn't full thrash too. And I think 85, that's what kids were looking for. They were looking for that thrash metal, and this was like, it was in between.
It's very thrashy, but it also has quite a bit of European power metal vibes.
Yeah, it has like a power speed metal vibe to it as well.
Yeah, and there's traditional in here a little bit too. Yep, in a weird way, I hear a little bit of Manowar at times too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like,
and I'm glad you brought that up, dude, because it has kind of it definitely has like an East Coast vibe to it.
Yes,
doesn't make sense because they're from Florida, but
yeah,
if somebody asked me, I'll be like, oh yeah, they're from New Jersey or something. But they're not.
Yeah.
But yeah, killer record. I'm going 8.5 out of 10 on it.
All right, man. I'm even better than you, dude. I fucking was like listening to this album going, wait, what? What was I thinking? Like, where did I?
Okay, I'm surprised. I didn't think this was the record you were going to go balls out on, but okay.
Well, well, let me see something. Hold on. Yeah, this is my favorite of the four. I like all of them, but all of them I like. In fact, all of them I'll pick up. But this one is the one. And the weird thing is that, like you said, Nasty Ronnie's all over the map. He's everywhere. From Thrasher Hetfield sort of things to King Diamondy bits, that you're like, where is
he tries to do like a King Diamond's like scream sometimes.
Oh yeah. No doubt he got that from Merciful Fate, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That falsetto is hilariously awesome on Gladiator. Gladiator. Yeah. The bass playing on this album is phenomenal. The bass player is like unreal. The guitars are huge and in your face, crushing. No Sympathy has a bit of a Sales of Charon intro riff that. It's got a little bit of that going. Then it gets into the thrashy, more melodic, almost Thin Lizzy harmony guitar part, and then the galloping bass is all over the place. Fear Beyond, thrashy but catchy as fuck. Borderline Maiden riff on that one. Badass bass playing all throughout. Prominent. Very basic production is rudimentary at best. Same drum beat throughout most of the songs. Can't say why I love Ronnie's falsetto and its theatrical delivery, regular delivery, but the definite King Diamond vibes on Metal Nights. And Metal Nights, man, that's a deceptively complex song. It's very technical, but not overly wanky. That's the weird thing. Super killer track. Asmodeus, huge, almost Manowar vibes is what I said. but far better. Crushingly heavy riffs. Dungeons has a, what's that say? Has a badass bass riff on it. The vocal delivery is kind of funny, almost over the top, but fun. Still great when he gutturally yells, "Dungeons of Pleasure!" It's hilariously awesome. The Morgue, super Atmos, dark, menacing. That's almost like their death metal track in a weird way.
That's their
great
dark
vocals,
song.
super doomy, man. That's like almost like a Candlemass track, right? Very theatrical. Probably my favorite track. Morgue is probably my favorite track. Maiden meets Metallica before there was Metallica, which isn't totally true. When I went and looked that up, Metallica was kind of hitting their stride right around 83 too, 82, 83. But dude, killer riffs, killer arrangements, complex songs, even a bit proggy for thrash at the time. Out of the box thrash is what I call this.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Totally dug it. Totally dug it. And I won't lie to you, I was shocked a little bit. I'm like, wait, am I really supposed to be into this or not? And then I'm like, why am I into it? And then I'm like, no, it's good. That's why, you know?
Yep. Killer, man.
All right, Wade. Catch you, bud.
Later. Wade just wants to hear the Devastation talk.
Don't know Whetstone, dude. We'll have to check him out. Yeah, Wade popped in for like one album. He popped in for the end of Blue Murder and the beginning of Nasty Savage. That's all right. That's all right.
All right. We're going to the next one?
Yeah, going to the next one.
Yeah.
We at where are we at? The 87's Indulgence, right?
Yep. There we go. Indulgence. What the fuck is going on this album cover? Like some Salvador Dali, man. What? Like a band could only pick this record cover if they want to fail as a thrash band. It's like, what do you guys
you wonder in that case, was Metal Blade the one that picked it? Like, for some reason did Brian?
Because all right, dude, I'll just show it, because if Metal Blade picked it, then they picked this one as the next one, which is the same type of shit.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it was Brian. I'm wondering if Brian had some weird thing for those kind of. I mean, let's be honest. It's kind of Crystal Logic. You know what I mean? It's kind of that vibe of what are they called? The Crystal Logic band. The one from Kansas. Marty loves them. Manila Road. It's Manila Road, man.
Yeah.
It's very Manila Road.
Man. This album cover is really bad as for a thrash record, and for this record, I think this record's actually a lot like more thrashy than the first record. So
way more thrashy.
Way more thrashy.
But I'm gonna say it right now. I don't like it as much.
Okay. Vocals, I think, are more controlled.
Yes.
He's not less highs. He's not just
less falsetto. Less falsetto.
Yeah, there's not a falsetto like out of nowhere. Stabbed in the Back, man. Way more up-tempo, thrashy. Almost has a Razor vibe to it. Divination, killer ripping speed metal track. Triple X. Fuck, the double bass on that, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Catchy song, dude.
Fuck yeah.
XXX. Triple X. Indulgence, killer song with some cool vocalizations. That's the one that has the King Diamond back on it again.
I was going to say, he does do the channeling King Diamond thing.
Yeah, Inferno, Total Thrash Attack. This sounds like a Whiplash song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Killer song. Hypnotic Trance, dark and
I like this one, man.
That's a killer song. Incursion Dementia.
But I don't know about you, but Hypnotic Trance, that's probably Ronnie's most weird vocal. He's like he's like super theatrical and all over the place on that one.
Incursion Dementia, killer double bass, and bass. The bass itself is killer. Distorted Fanatics, a cool song, and then the question mark instrumental is a killer jam too. That could sound like if you put that on and said, "Oh, this is like a death demo track or something." I could see people like believe.
Dude, one band name, Coroner.
Yep, Coroner. That comes to
mind. Coroner, dude, big time.
Yeah,
That's exactly. I'm like, this sounds like a fucking Coroner song, man.
Yep, but
yeah, I like this album, but I'm not as high on you. Where were you at?
I'm gonna go 8.5. No, I'm gonna go 9 out of 10 on this.
Okay,
I really like this record. It's my favorite Nasty Savage record.
Okay.
Just because I feel like it's more controlled, and this is like their pinnacle in between like the other stuff they did as far as like having that controlled sound. Where I think this album, if like people that like thrash had known about this record when it came out, I think it would have been a lot bigger. But nobody.
Well, here, let me put it this way: it's probably their most uniform album as far as linearly. It's like kind of all similar tracks. They don't sound the same, but it's all kind of in one vein. Whereas the first album's kind of weirdly all over the map. It's prog, it's thrash, it's deathy at times, not death, but sabotagey and proggy. And then this one is very uniform. It's kind of not samey, but similar.
Right. It's you know what you're going to get on every track pretty much. It doesn't like stray away from the
right. And it's short. It's only like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's only like 35 minutes. So Divinations. Chorus is wild. He does do some falsetto on this because he multi-tracks it. Killer solos.
You still got
very angular and stabbing, man. It's almost like a Voivod track. Weird.
Yeah, somebody said that. You got me blown up, Jeff.
Oh, sorry. Fuck. My bad. Yeah, it has a Voivod vibe to it.
Triple X. I was mention Voivod too, because I can hear some Voivod stuff. Like
for sure.
Voivod. For
sure, man. The Triple X supercharged double bass, almost blast beats. Pretty much is blast beats. Which is a little weird, but still thrashing as fuck. Indulgence reminds me of Thrashier King Diamond. Definitely channeling King here.
Yeah.
But also, weirdly, I hear Tyrant's first album.
Okay.
Tyrant.
I thought you were going to bring up Tyrant because you didn't like the second Tyrant record as much as I like.
No, I like the first one more, but I hear more of the first album in this.
Okay.
Hypnotic trance, killer spiraling riffs, intertwining, crawling, then thrashier as it builds. The vocals on this one are Nasty Ronnie's weirdest and most theatrical. What's the next one there? INC Dementia? No, wait, what?
Incursion Dementia?
Yeah, Incursion Dementia. Ripping, killer riffs, melodic lead lines. Drumming is insane on that track, man.
Yep.
Absolutely insane. Distorted Fanatic, lunatic laughing over a very heavy Judas Priest-like chugging riff thing, but doesn't sound like Priest at all. Not bad. Question mark. The intro of intertwined harmonized octave lines is killer. The riffs and playing are savage as fuck on this song. Wow. Might be my favorite track, to be honest. And it's an instrumental. It's like a complex Coroner meets Rush song. Killer musicianship on this song. Not quite as quirky and weird as the debut, but damn near as good. More savage from a heavy thrash vein and thrash metal standpoint. I'm going an 8.5 out of 10. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So we're right up there on these.
Yeah, and of course I started to go out and look for these on eBay, you fuckers. So, thanks.
It's good, man.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, you're the one that's going to get me to buy a Blue Murder CD.
I know. Fucking right I am, man. If it's the last thing I do on this earth, you're buying a Blue Murder CD.
Yep, I'm going to be drinking my fucking Malibu cocktails, listening to some Blue Murder.
Listen up. Here's what's going to happen, man. You're going to buy it on vinyl, though, and it's going to have this picture in the center, and you're going to open up that gatefold, right? And you're gonna have your box of Kleenexes handy, and you're gonna be going, John, there's been a riot in my pants. All right, let's go.
Good.
Moving on.
All right, where are we going? Abstract Reality, the EP.
Yeah.
So you got 4 songs on this. Again, man, another fucking. This just I mean, it might as well be straight from the last record. I mean, it just
pretty much
continues on. Unchained Angel, just a fucking ripper, dude. The chorus fucking rules.
See, that's the one song I don't like on it. I love the
You
other.
know what, dude? It took Unchained Rippers. I kind of Unchained Angel's a little harder to get into.
Yeah.
Than some of the other songs. Abstract Reality, man, that's a fucking banger. Just a cool speed metal attack on that one. Aromatic Vertigo. Man, that's a killer song. Total fucking massive guitars and melodic vocals on that one. Lots of riff changes and time.
Savage riffs all over the place, man.
Yeah.
And then do you hear the one part? You hear the one lyric in it where it goes, "Where the red fern grows." I'm like,
yes.
What the fuck?
I was like, what?
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I did.
Book, where the red fern grows. Like, what the fuck, man? Nasty Ronnie must have been having a mellow moment with his old lady reading to his kid or something where the red fern grows, man. Like, what the fuck?
You snooze, you lose. Again, pretty cool song, man. Pretty kind of has a slight crossover edge to it, but fuck, I forgot to talk about that one. What was the one song where he talks about wrestling?
Hold on.
Oh, that's never mind. It's a different record. All right.
That's a different record. That's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man, that's a killer fucking EP. Again, if you like Indulgence, this pretty much just is like a continuation. And
yeah,
they put out the CD and it had both of them on it. So
did it? Okay, I'm gonna go on.
Well, there's two. I had actually pulled the CD. I had the original Indulgence CD. This doesn't have the EP on it,
right?
But they did come out with a CD that had both of them, this and the EP on it. So
like on one CD or on 2-on-1? Like
no, it was 2-on-1.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna hunt for that one, man. I love this EP, man. It gets in, it hits hard, and it kicks your ass. Abstract Reality, man. What a fucking savage.
Right.
Maybe their best sounding production of all their albums. This thing just rips, dude. Ronnie is crazed, but still controlled and melodic and tuneful. Unchained Angel is my least favorite song on the EP, but it has some wicked solos on it. What's it called?
Aromantic Vertigo?
Yeah. Man, they love their harmonized pedals. They were big into the harmonized pedals back then, where they'd play a riff and it would be harmonized and you could hear the harmony. But savage killer riffs, stellar bass work, drum work is insane, very melodic, almost radio friendly from this bunch. Almost has an aromatic Vertigo, almost has a hair metal vibe to it. But man, dude, there's weird Gojira-like arpeggios on this song. And then the Red Fern Grows lyrics, like, what the hell is that? I don't even know what that is. You know? Like, that is so out there from left field. And then You Snooze, the intro reminds me of a song that I just could not place. And I kept listening, and I'm like, man, I know this melody from somewhere, but I couldn't put it together. Anyways, familiar, yet cool as fuck. And Ronnie's sing is almost like a thrash jazz fusion song.
Yeah.
This track is bonkers killer, musically schizophrenic and yet infinitely entertaining and savage as fuck. The solid guitar tone is nuts, and yeah, the harmonized pedal, it's a little too much, but man, it's when they get into the chug on this song, just give it to me all day. Give me chug like that all day long. I got a 9 out of 10.
Killer, man. Oh yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 too. I didn't rate it, but
yeah, it's badass.
Also, yes, the yellow stickers stay on my record. I don't take any stickers off. That way I can be like, I paid $2.95 for this at Amoeba.
He just likes to fucking flex, that's all.
Yep.
Flex. We're just going to call him OG Flex from now on.
OG Flex Press.
All right, we got one more.
Hey, man, as Nasty says, you snooze, you lose, man. When I was
Fucking
out there
right.
buying these records.
And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not arguing with Nasty. No way.
You'll throw a TV on your head.
And it's fun. Yeah, it's throw a TV. It's funny because I was talking to Ben Jackson about Nasty Savage, and I actually hit up Kelly, and I'm like, dude, "Do you know Nasty Ron?" He's like, "Everybody knows Nasty Ron." I'm like,
Yeah.
"You gotta hook me up with that dude, man." He's like, "Just hit him up on Facebook." So I'm gonna do that and get him on. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, last album. Where the hell is it? Where'd it go here? Hold on. Penetration Point. Man, talk about a great album cover. We're just kidding.
I couldn't find my copy. I have it on CD somewhere. I have no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have it?
I do have it. I just don't have it with me. So I don't know where the fuck that
Oh,
is.
hang on then. We gotta show this.
You got to show that killer record cover.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on now, bro. Come on, bro. Here it is. Ready?
I am ready.
Wait, is there? Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Oh, wait. There we go. What in the fuck is that? Like, what is
I don't
it?
know. It's got to be by the same artist because it's got like a little guy like walking through. I don't know. Was that a devil head with a mustache?
I don't know, dude. Like, it's so weird.
It is.
It's
Like whoever
hold on.
decided this was going to be their cover art, they failed miserably.
Yeah, it's just, man, it's like one of those creatures from it looks like a mixture of Where the Wild Things Are and a gibbon. You ever see those gibbons? I think they're called they have those weird, or mandrill. They're called mandrill.
Oh, mandrill,
like a monkey with a fucking colored face.
It looks like one of those wooden like voodoo masks or something.
Yeah, or one of those. Yeah. Weird.
I don't know, man. It's just odd, and it's very poorly done.
Yeah, it's so weird, man. Anyway, so this album is kind of over the top fucking crazy. Right?
It is.
Let me hold on. So yeah, I don't own this. Dennis has it, but he couldn't find it. So we'll get into this now. Penetration Point comes out in 1989. It doesn't have a date here. Came out on Rotten Records, which, by the way, I didn't say, but Indulgences was on Metal Blade, and where's the EP? Abstract Reality was also on Metal Blade. So they must maybe they got dropped after that. I don't know.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
No one. I told you, no one was buying Nasty Savage, mainly because of the album covers. I don't know, man. It was just like
weird, right?
I'm not.
Weird,
right? You got to remember, man. At the time, nobody's buying records. They don't. There's no YouTube or anything, so you got to buy stuff based on the album covers.
True.
If I saw that I probably did when I was a kid, and I was like, I'm not buying that. What the fuck?
I laughed at what the hell?
Yep.
All right, so go ahead, rip into this one.
89 Welcome Wagons. Odd, man. And it's actually just like about like coming into the neighborhood and like that's weird.
It's very strange.
Fun thrasher, kind of has an Exodus vibe to it. Lyrics are bizarre. That's what I wrote.
Yeah. Trippy.
Cool song, irrational, killer song. Vocal kind of reminds me. His vocals are different on this. They kind of remind me of this band called Uncle Slam, which was like a crossover band, like a Suicidal Tendencies type of band.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember
that. Ritual Submission, cool track. Kind of loses my attention a little bit. It's a little too techy for me in some parts. Oh, Power Slam. That's the one about wrestling.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, man. And they don't mince words. It's just like I grab you in the fucking headlock and slam you on the ground. It's just like totally.
Yeah, they weren't exactly Neil Peart,
right? But yeah, it's pretty funny. It's a fun song. Sin Eater, cool song. Lots of killer riffs on this one. Penetration Points. Guitar at the beginning is full fucking really tech shit, killer shit, man. I like Penetration Point. Puzzled, killer track, a lot of cool riffs. There's a band. What's this song called? Horizontical or something like that.
Say what?
What's this one called? Horizontical. I can't even pronounce what the
on the album.
Yeah, after Puzzled, Horizontical.
Hold on. It's called Horizontal.
Okay.
Yeah, like horizontal but vertical. Mixing horizontal and vertical, so they got horizontal.
All right.
That's the instrumental, right?
Yeah. It's a little too much for me. The riff at the beginning is pretty cool. Settles into a kind of a cool riff, but it's a little all over the place. Family Circus ends on a pretty badass track. Crunchy riffing, thrashy as fuck, killer song. I'm not a big fan of this record as much as the other ones. It's kind of almost above what they could do.
Too weird.
It seems very what's the word I'm looking for? Just like
overreaching. Overreaching.
Yeah, overreaching, like too ambitious. That's what it is. It's very it's very over ambitious. They try to throw everything in the pot on some of these songs, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But yeah, overall it's a cool record. I'm gonna give it like a 7.5 out of 10 for me.
All right. I actually have it a little higher than you. I like a lot of the ideas here. Some of the execution's a little weird. Yeah. You start off with Welcome Wagon. Yeah, it's an unhinged, full-on psycho thrashabilly song. It's like a rockabilly song, like the Cramps meets Exodus or something weird like that. Lyrics are hysterical. The sound effects are bizarre. The chorus is fist in the air rager. I like that song a lot, actually. Irrational starts cool and proggy, dark and mysterious, then rages. Killer track. The production sounds a little odd. The drums sound almost like too acoustic and flat on that one. But I like that song a lot. Irrational is great. Let's see. Ritual Submission. Killer intro, harmonized guitars that they love to use. Those killer solos. Power slam, ripping, face shredding riffs. Holy fuck, unrelenting. That song is maybe the heaviest song they have. Yeah. It just never stops. It's just ravaging. Sin Eater, probably my favorite track. Dreamy, weird intro. Kind of has a weird, like, reminds me a little bit of the band, fuck, man, we talked about them. Last Crack. Has a little bit of that Last Crack mini toboggan, like dreamy intro, and then it just starts pummeling you in the face after that. What else are we at here? Penetration Point, crazy killer intro and guitars, although they do tend to go over the same sort of intro riff sequence on almost all these songs. Puzzled, chugging riffomania. Family Circus, the lyrics are a hoot. The song is crazy psycho. It's a ripper, more a chug fest, and more chug fest, then into a spiraling maze of riffs that most of the others on the album. So this one is still killer, but the formula started to show a little bit of wear and tear.
Yep.
In other words, there started to be a little bit of a kind of I've heard that riff before. Oh, they did that intro before like that. So I'm going an 8 out of 10. I still think it's a very good album, but I was kind of like, all right, now if your next album was just all like this, then I know where you're going. It's all gonna be the same song and same album over and over again. So they didn't do that. They did come out with an album in 2004, which I did not listen to, and I don't know anything about it, so I don't know what that's like. Do you have that one? Did you ever check that one out?
I have, but I don't remember it. I remember thinking it was good when I heard it before, but I don't remember it at all.
Yeah. So overall, pretty solid marks all the way around. Nasty Savage, one of those bands that you may have heard about a lot, but if you went and checked them out the first time, we're kind of, you might reevaluate them differently if you go back, because I was one of those guys. I know I definitely checked them out way back when, and I was like, it's too weird, too goofy. Keep in mind, though, I was not a fan of King Diamond for a very long time. I've become more of a fan now. So, I mean, I love Merciful Fate, but always struggled with King's vocals. I kind of came around on it. So now the Nasty Ronnie stuff doesn't like it's not so jarring to me, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing, the big takeaway. Yeah. So, lastly but not leastly, we're gonna get into this band. This is the Fields of Nephilim box set. It has the first album, Dawnrazor. It's got the Nephilim, the second album, Elizium, the third album, Earth Inferno, which I believe is a live album, and then singles and mixes. And then I have Zoon somewhere, but you pulled yours. And then I have Mourning Sun, which is the last one. If I didn't pull it, I have it, but I'll show it. Let's jump into these, dudes. So, Fields of Nephilim. I'm gonna pull up a little bit of Wikipedia for that. They're an English goth rock band formed in 1984 in Stevenage, Hertfordshire. The band refers to a biblical race of angel-human hybrids known as the Nephilim, actually, I think. Their initial sound incorporated elements of hard rock, goth rock, heavy metal, and psychedelic rock, and comprised a bass and guitar-driven sound underpinned by Carl McCoy's growled vocals. Lyrically, the band incorporated themes concerning magic, specifically chaos magic, Cthulhu mythos, the Sumerian religion, and the works of Aleister Crowley. The band had a dust and death image associated with characters from Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns, often wore cowboy dusters with a weather-beaten look during photo shoots. The weather-beaten look was attained by dusting themselves down with their own admission, Mother's Pride flower. This also proved problematic for the band, as in May of '88, police detained the band whilst a suspicious substance was tested for drugs. Later determined to be nothing but flour from the stage set. Their debut EP, Burning the Fields, which we do not talk about, was released in '85 by Situation 2 Records, an imprint of Beggar's Banquet Records. The band upgraded to Beggar's Banquet in '86 to release Power and Preacher Man and their first album, Dawnrazor, which topped the indie chart in '87. The next release, Blue Water, was the first Fields of Nephilim single to reach the singles chart, followed by Moonchild, lead single from the second LP, The Nephilim. Then we'll kind of get into it. There was Carl McCoy left the band in '91. Remaining members, together with singer Andy Delaney, chose not to continue Fields of Nephilim, instead recording under the name Rubicon. The band released 2 albums before disbanding. Meanwhile, Carl McCoy formed a new project called Nephilim, and in '91, after disbanding of Fields of Nephilim, band played some gigs. They released the album Zoon in '93, and we're going to talk about that one. And then in the reunion in August of '98, McCoy and the original bassist Tony Petit held a brief press conference at Zillow Festival in Germany, announcing their future plans, collaborate under 2 separate monikers, Fields of Nephilim and the Nephilim. And then in 2000, 15 years after Elizium, which was the final album by the full band, McCoy released Mourning Sun, his 4th full-length studio album under the name Fields of Nephilim. And we'll kind of get into that one too. So I'll start with Dawnrazor. Now, quick little intro about how I found out about this band. There was a buddy of mine named John DeLorso, and I got to know him through the Yahoo chat groups. Remember those back in the day, like back in the early '90s, where you'd find a band and there'd be a Yahoo chat group about them.
Yeah.
I met him based on, he was kind of in the Porcupine Tree group of stuff, and he's like, dude, did you ever hear of, because he knew I liked stuff like Sisters of Mercy, the Mission UK, the Chameleons, trying to think who else was another big band that I was thinking of. Susie and the Banshees, stuff like that, right? He's like, man, you got to check out this band called the Fields of Nephilim. You'll love them. And he gave me all this stuff on disc. on like CDR, right?
EDR, dude.
Yeah. So when everybody was burning CDRs back then,
Yep.
and I had this stuff. I remember playing it and going, "That's pretty good," but I had too many things going on at once, and I just never got back to it. A couple years ago, I think Marty and Matt did a deep dive on Fields on Matt's channel, which, by the way, I guess he's back now. Is that right?
Well, I mean, he did one video.
All right. So the Dark Path, Matt over at the Dark Path, and Marty. And were you in this, or was it just Marty?
No, I wasn't in it.
Yeah, they did a Fields of Nephilim.
No, I did the skinny puppy one.
That's right, Skinny Puppy. So they did a sort of a deep dive on this band, and I started to dig back in. I'm like, oh man, why don't I own this stuff? So I went out and pretty much grabbed everything. And this is the first album, Dawnrazor, out of the box set. And again, this, I think, if I'm not wrong, the cool thing about this box set that I got, give me a minute here. Yeah, I thought maybe I'm wrong. So this came out on Beggar's Archive. So it's Beggar's Banquets, like box sets. They're just the cardboard slip cases with, you get a little bit of a, not a lyric sheet, but info. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And clamshell box case, not super high. Yeah, so you get this. With all the lyrics and not lyrics, goddamn it, the album credits, sorry. And which is nice because I don't really need their lyrics. I mean, I know what they're singing about in every song. Death, doom, gloom, all that kind of good stuff. But the nice thing about this is that every album in this set, let me double check. Yeah, so for example, the first album has the first 8 songs, the regular album. Then it's got 9, 10, 11, 12. It's got 5 more tracks that were tracked around this time, including Blue Water and Power and Secrets and The Tower. And so, yeah, I mean, and then you get to the second album, Nephilim. They've got 2 bonus tracks on there. Elizium, there's 3 bonus tracks. Earth Inferno, which is a live album, I think that's just straight up the way it is. And then this singles and mixes, man. There's like 13 tracks, everything from Preacher Man, Moonchild, Psychonaut, For Her Light, Submission, Summerland, Blue Water, all the cool stuff. So it's really worth getting. If you want to get all their stuff with the exception of Morning Sun and Zoon, this is the best way to get it. Super cheap, well worth grabbing. So that's that. So first album, as we said, Dawnrazor, comes out 1987 on Beggar's Banquet, and kicks off with Intro Harmonica Man. Now, you got to remember, you know what that's from, Harmonica Man?
Mm-hmm.
That's from the Good, the Bad, the Ugly. And Charles Bronson plays a guy called Bright Eyes, and he's a mercenary killer, essentially. And he goes to meet, he's coming into town, and the bad guy, I forget his name in the movie, wants his henchman to meet him at the train station. And he's playing this harmonica theme from Ennio Morricone comes up, and it's so fucking badass, man. And they do a cover of it, yeah. And I love it. It's so cool. And then it jumps into Slow Kill, man. God, I love this song. Possibly the best ever sound on a guitar you can get. I just love this sound of this album and all of their albums. But this album has just such a killer guitar sound of that mid to late 80s, that British goth sound, man. That chiming guitar, so fucking wickedly cool. Carl's overly gothic yelp is a little odd and affected by it, but I love it. Those chorusy, washy guitars are what I want to hear for all eternity when I die. I just want to hear that sound. When I'm dead, I just want to float in that sound, like hearing that guitar sound. Laura, solid track drum machine is kind of obvious. Preacher Man is a ripper, kick-ass hillbilly goth stomp with bits of the Cramps in there for good campiness. Wait, is it Vol? I can tell I was falling asleep though when I was doing some of this. Volcane, Mr. Jealousy has returned. Great chorus on this one. Very early cult vibes. The Cult, like Southern Death Cult.
Yeah.
Right around the Love and the first album, Dreamtime. His overly dramatic vocals can get a little bit much at times, but I dig it, and it has a great chorus. You got Vet for the Insane. Dreamy and drifting at first, and yeah, Carl's overly dramatic, but I love it. At about 2:30, it starts to get heavier and darker, more psychedelic and trippy. The vocals and echo and delay are so cool. My favorite track, besides the first and the title track. Secret, solid track, drum machine hard at work. We've got Dust, bouncy bass-driven track in the Lucretia, My Reflection vein, as Carl is pulling his best Andrew Eldritch on this one. You don't know who Andrew Eldritch is? Shame on you. You should, but that's Mission Sisters of Mercy, main guy. Let's see. Slidey glissando guitars and clubby vibe on the rhythm. Really like that. Power, lots of spaghetti western rockabilly guitars. Shuffle beat here. Again, channeling Eldritch big time. The Tower, almost a Nick Cave vibe to this track. Almost sounds like him, and it's crawling, morose. It crawls and is morose until about 1:30, and when it picks up. Dawnrazor, killer track. Love this track. Heavy, dark, spacious, sexy, and seductively sprawling. The guitars sound like you can swim in them. They are so drenched in reverb and delay, and the sound is as wet as water. So killer. Carl is theatrical and over the top. The chorus is magical. The sequel, kind of a reprise of Slow Kill, although I'd have finished the album with either Dawnrazor or Preacher Man. So there you go. That's the first one. I give this a 9.25 out of 10.
9.25.
Oh, it gets better. Trust me, it gets way better. Nothing's going to be below a 9 with this band. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. You don't like it, take it up with management. That's what I had to say. All right, what do you got on Dawnrazor?
Dawnrazor. So,
hang on 1 second, though. Did
yeah.
you know much about this band? Had you listened?
So, the weird thing is, I always thought I owned stuff by this band, which I do, but it's by somebody recording me at cassettes.
All right.
So, I think what happened, like back in when this came out, I was into metal and stuff like that, but my buddy was into he was starting to get more into industrial and goth stuff. So he was listening to this stuff, and then I would hear it. We'd go somewhere and I'd hear it in his car, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool. What's that?" And he'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna record you this," or whatever it was. You know what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So that's how I heard of this band, was from him recording me copies of the records. I don't know if I have all of them, but I know I have some of them. So, and I don't really remember. I just assumed oh, I have this somewhere because I knew I had it. Intro's cool, like you said, slow, cool, really cool mix of basically your big goth rock. So, the big bands. This sounds like The Cure mixed with Sisters of Mercy with some he almost has a David Bowie vibe to him at some points when he sings.
A little bit, yep,
Which I hear coming through, which I like. I like his style. It's not just monotone through or one style.
No, it's kind of all over. It's all over the place.
Laura, dark and brooding with great vocals. Preacher Man has an almost dark country vibe to it. You can hear some definite country influence.
Yep, it's got that twang in the guitars.
Yep. Mr. Jealousy has returned, has a lighter, almost 80's radio sound to it,
that's kind of a radio track. Yeah.
Vet for the Insane, acoustic and haunting, but it's kind of long at 7 minutes, and might be my problem with this band is sometimes their songs go on too long for me.
I agree.
Secret's cool alt type song. Almost has a Bauhaus meets Tears for Fear vibe for me.
Yep.
And that's cool about listening to these things. Like now that I'm hearing them, like, oh, this is cool. Like, because like going back to these bands that I don't usually listen to, I hear these things. Dust has a darker tone vocally. Almost has a he's almost has like a growl, like a dark growl in some of these parts. And I didn't hear you mention this, and I might be listening to a different copy, but there's a song called Reanimator on it. I guess yours doesn't have that on it.
No.
But, yeah, and it's actually based after the movie Reanimator, so that was cool. Powers, another almost punk country hybrid. The Tower, killer song, dark and emotional. Dawnrazor, another long track at over 7 minutes. Cool, laid-back track. I like the chorus a lot on this one. And then Sequel, cool closer. Just a cool goth rocker to end the record. But overall, I like this record. Not as much as some of the other ones, but I like this one. I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10 on it.
Cool. So
and only because the songs go on too long for me sometimes, and I'm like, all right, man.
Well, it sounds to me like you were actually listening to the extended version. Where that Reanimator track is, I don't know. Somebody added that on a playlist. For all I know, it's not even them. I don't know. It's not on the.
It's single. On the. I'm pretty sure it's on the Spotify version I listened to.
Well, then that might have been an added cover they put in. Then, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's cool. It's a cool track.
I don't know that one at all. Because I have the what's it called? It's called Singles and Mixes.
Yeah, it's right after Dust on this. On my
Is it weird?
On my it's on the Spotify version, it has that song mixed in.
Okay. Well, they must have thrown that in then. I don't know. Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, you should check out that song. It's a cool song. You don't have it anywhere on that box set?
No.
That's weird.
It's not in the singles or mixes version, which is where I would expect to have seen it, you know. But I'm looking now and I can't find my son of a bitch. Oh, there it is. All right. So the second album, the Nephilim, comes out in just to let you know, that first album came out. I think I said it, but I'll reiterate just a quick second here. So Dawnrazor came out May 4th, 1987. It is 60 minutes long, produced by Bill Buchanan, out on label Situation 2, which I've never heard of. British independent. They were, okay, it was an offshoot of Beggar's Banquet, that's why. And it was reference to Bauhaus's old manager. There we go. Okay. Let me look at something real quick here. So, where'd you say it was at? Right at, oh, there it is, Reanimator. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. No, I had it in here. I just didn't mention it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on here. I just didn't mention it weirdly. I don't know why, but all right. So, second album, The Nephilim, comes out on in 1988. Again, it's on Situation 2, Beggar's Banquet. They self-produce. 55 minutes, released September of 88. It doesn't say when. So, and this one's 55 minutes long. So, you know, the first song, and I get where you're coming from on the length of the song somewhat, because that's kind of my slight criticism on this one. So you got Endosomendia. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
Am I right? Reading that right?
Moniata.
Endomoniata, yeah. Endomoniata. Killer track that builds into a beast Mid-tempo, cool, slides and drones gets weirdly rockabilly at the end. The Watchman, Carl going full Tom Waits on this one, where he starts doing yeah, it's jangly, drony, chiming guitars with a shuffled drum beat. Kicks in about 2 minutes with a more direct kind of tempo vibe. Like it, not my favorite. Phobia, almost punk rockabilly track. Weirdly, the descending chord bits remind me of Motorhead's Ace of Spades.
I wrote the same thing. It's total Ace of Spades, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yep. Total ripoff of Ace of Spades. But it's cool. And then, man, dude, one of my absolute favorite songs of ever, Moonchild, easily my favorite track on this song. Very Mission UK. The 12-string guitars rule. Love this track. Atmospheric, jangling, shimmering guitars. That intro, arpeggiated guitar note sequence from A minor to C to G is fucking the shiz. And Carl isn't being overly weird or vocally dramatic on this song. Very much a Love era cult track. So you got the it is such a dude. How can you not be hooked in by that guitar riff? It's so good. Chord of Souls, carryover from Moonchild. Killer again, very up tempo and driving, very trippy in a way, with the vocal affectations and the heavy bass synths. Love it. Shiva has a very Cure-like vibe to it. Shimmering, killer melodic guitar lines. Really killer track. Another great track. Love Under Will, a synthy and gothy intro, then languid dream goth guitars building Carl's vocals, pained and not always in key or perfect, but always perfect for fitting for Field's music. Weirdly, another great track, but could have been just as effective at 4.5 minutes versus 8. So there you go. Last Exit. I like it. Not nuts about it. Major down tempo track, and Carl gets a bit too weirdly theatrical for me on this one, but it drags on way too much. This is a solid 8.7. No, what did I say? I'm going to go 8.75. I'm going to drop this one a little bit. I like it a lot, but it's could have done with a bit of editing on a few of the songs. The more bloated tracks, they do tend to beat a dead horse to death on a few songs on the album. But the material is generally so strong, I don't mind the long songs being a culprit, like the last song. But man, the song Moonchild, just fucking mind-blowing, dude. Mind-blowing track. So.
Yep. All right. For me, what was your score? 8.5, you said?
8.75.
Okay. The first track, Maniata or whatever, kind of has like almost a hard rock sound, kind of distorted guitars entering in from what they weren't doing on the first record. Killer song, Watchmen, cool song about the Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah.
Phobia, right. Ace of Spades, fun track. Moonchild, best track on the record.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Probably my favorite song they've done, honestly.
I got one or two that beat it, but that's right. That's a top 3 song for me, too.
Yeah. Shiva's another dark and haunting tune. Love Under Will. Love Undo Will. What's that one? Love Under. Yeah. Yeah. Vocals are killer. Kind of sounds like Pete Steele might have been listening to this stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Last Exit for the Lost. This is kind of a weird song. It's almost like it's like almost David Bowie meets Pink Floyd or something. Kind of a cool song. I like this record actually more than the first one.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason, it's catchier to me. And I feel like, I don't know, the band has more of a solid foot into what they're doing. It's not as all over the place. Again, kind of like that Nasty Savage thing where they have more of their sound, and I feel like this is the
Right.
record for them. I like this record. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice, man. Nice. All right. So we got Elizium. Elizium comes out on in 1990, September 24th, 1990. It's actually only 48 minutes long, and it was recorded by, produced by Andy Jackson, Fields of Nephilim, out on Beggar's Banquet. I'm going to just get this out of the way right here, right now. This is one of the most amazing albums ever fucking written. End of story, period. I don't give a fuck what Dennis says. I don't care what any of you say. This album is a fucking masterpiece, all right? It is just, oh my God, dude. Fuck. This album just slays me. It destroys me. It's so beautiful. Hang on, I lost my fucking, hold on. Hey, what's going on here? I lost my, there we go. Come on, dude. Bear with me. I actually lost my freaking, there we go. My cheat sheet. Weird. All right, so, what the fuck? Just bear with me, Dennis. I don't know why, but it's, there we go. There we go. Finally. Okay. So, Elizium. I think if you talk to most Fields of Nephilim fans, they're going to say what I'm about to say. That this album is just a cinematic masterpiece. It's literally almost like you're watching a movie when you're listening to it, for me. It starts out with the amazingly cinematic and sort of atmospheric track, Dead but Dreaming, and then it kicks into For Her Light, man. Oh my God. God damn, I love that fucking song, man. The vocals on the whole album, but that song in particular, mind fucking blowing, dude. That song is just a ripper. That it's kind of Moonchild. It's like the sister to Moonchild in a lot of ways. But and it's got that Sisters of Mercy driving Lucretia bass note thing going on. I love that song so much. A little bit even more than Moonchild. It's my second favorite song. For Her Light, fucking killer. Love his voice and the vocals on this album as a whole. Just absolutely beautiful on that song. What do we got here? We got At the Gates of Silent Memory. Oh, so atmospheric, drifting. The bass and guitars like ghosts. The vocals buried in the processing. So fucking killer. Paradise Regained, thematic, up-tempo rocker, snarling, wraith-like vocals that are so wicked. Submission, almost an interlude, very sparse. Synth bass, and the first of Carl being ultra spooky on this album. Then we get to Summerlands, man. Dude, my favorite song by them. It's 11 minutes. Fuck you, don't touch 1 second of that song. Don't touch 1 second of that song. It is brilliant. It sounds like Billy Idol meets David Gilmour. Weirdly, the chorus is so uplifting and grand and epic. Love this song. Even at 11 minutes and 5 seconds, it's just fucking amazing. And a couple weeks back, Marty and the Wednesday night crew did a heavy metallurgy. See, I'm a little bit buzzed, so I'm not going to be able to say that word. Heavy metallurgy episode about the band Summerlands. They had to have taken their name for that band from this song. Had to. All right, and then we get to what do we get to here? Sorry. Whale of Summer. and there will your heart be also. Okay. Whale of Summer. As much as I love Summerlands, believe it or not, this is my favorite track on the album. I goofed up. It's dreamy, gauzy, synthy, gothic, beauty. Carl's vocals are amazing. Just a stunning atmospheric track. Mind-blowing. My favorite song. Summerland's number 2. Number 3, probably Moonchild. And then For Her Light, number 4. Somewhere in that range. And then There Will Be Your Heart. Sort of a continuation of Whale with lots more synths and guitars. Walls of them. If you had to guess what I'm going to give this album, Dennis, what would you guess?
I'm going to say 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10, bitches. You're fucking right. One of my favorite albums of all time. I'm not lying. It's right up there with Floodland from Sisters. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant fucking album. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm as high as on this record as you are. Mainly because the songs are just so long.
And Dennis, it was great seeing you tonight. Thanks for joining us, you cocksucker, you.
Not that I don't like the record, I do. It's very dark. It's a very depressing record. I think you have to be in the mood for this record. It's not something you just want to throw on like in the background. Like I feel like this is a record you need to sit with. For me, anyways, I like listening to this band it's very hard to do. Like when I was doing this, I was like, I kept coming back to this band because I just couldn't keep listening. It's so like the music is so very emotional and like downtrodden.
Intense. It's very intense.
So it's not something you want to like listen to all the time. I mean, some people probably do, but for me, it's not.
I love this shit.
I have to be in the mood for this.
Yeah, I got you. Definitely. Yeah.
For Her Light, some reason this song reminds me of Queensryche, like later Queensryche.
Really?
Like, yeah, I don't know what it is, like silent lucidity or something like that. It has that same type of vibe to it for me.
What?
I know, it's weird. I kept coming, and then when I put it on YouTube, Queensryche came up on the right hand side too, and I was like, "Oh, that is weird." But maybe it just came out at the same time, so it has that production. I don't know,
man, dude. I don't know. That's weird.
I know, and I don't even own that Queensryche record. Those two things, it just sounded like it to me. Like it doesn't sound like Queensryche. It just reminds me of Queensryche. Only like that record Empire, I think is the record.
Yeah.
I don't own that record, but
okay.
Or I might own it, but I probably bought it for $1 or something.
Man, I just don't hear it at all.
Yeah. At the Gates of Silent Memory, dark, heavy, has a Crowley intro, which is cool. I like that they have they actually have him talking on the beginning. Paradise Regained. It's a cool song, but it has like these weird like glam rock drums to it. Like late 80s glam rock drumming. Submission, another haunting, epic, almost like a heavy Pink Floyd sound to it. Very, again, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. You got to be really invested to listen to this record. Summerland, back to that, again, that Western type vibe to it. I like this song, though. It's 11 minutes. It's a little long for me, but I like this song. I think it's a great song.
Yeah.
Whale is Summer, cool track. Yeah. Has that 80s sound to it. Yeah, man. It's a good record. It's just not something I would listen to every day. I like the second record more. I think that's my favorite out of the three. Just because I think that's it just flows better for me. Whereas this one's more epic and like very dark.
Right.
Would be something I would listen to maybe, when on a day when I feel like listening to this. But for some reason, the second one I like more, but I like this one too. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm not saying it's a bad record. Just for me, like, again, I struggle with songs that are 11 minutes. I lose interest. It's
not your jam so much.
Yeah, I just lose interest in the song. Like, I get what you're doing. Does it need to be 11 minutes? I mean, for you, yes. For me, 6 minutes could have been fine for me. I don't see them doing anything different through the song. It doesn't like Summerland. It's just okay. Or what's the one that's 8 minutes or 11 minutes?
Summerland.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything different in the 11 minutes where it takes off into another direction or anything for me. So,
well, see,
but
I think it builds. They're one of those bands that kind of starts with the substructure and then builds on top of it to like a crescendo a lot of the times. And that's one of the songs. Now, let me read you what I'm not going to get those guys right. SKAHT. Scott Hansen, I guess, of Pitchfork, said about this album. He says, Fields of Nephilim is a band that wants to hide in your dreams, to implant itself into the surreal images of your subconsciousness. That's kind of what I feel like they do in a lot of ways. They kind of hover in that, almost like in a dream state, right?
Yeah.
And you're not completely, almost like you're not completely awake, and you're not. Hey, what's the song I wanted to look up? Jelly Roll, right?
Yeah.
For the video.
The video. Yep.
Let's see if we get away with it. Hold on a minute.
Try to find the one that's not on Vivo if there is one.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. That's the only one that's there.
Yeah, we might get away with it.
We might get away with.
I mean, we got away with Corey Feldman, so
there's a live TV performance. We'll try that first, and then we'll see what. Well, I got dinged for the Corey Feldman shit. But
the stream didn't get taken down, so
didn't it? I thought it did.
No.
Okay. All right. So, where were we at here? I was at. We're at the next album, which actually is Earth Inferno's like a live album. 3 different live performances. We won't get in that because there's nothing really new there at all. I don't think. No, there isn't. And then we get to Revelations, which is a comp. And then we get to Fallen in 2002. This is an unauthorized album by Fields of Nephilim released after an 11-year hiatus. Upon release, the band's website described the disc as an unauthorized release of unreleased and partly unfinished demos pilfered by the record company. It's not very good. Just going to say it's not very good. But what happened was when Carl and the rest of the guys kind of split up, Carl decided to rebrand the basically the band, right? And what we have is, what's it called? The Nephilim, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and the album is called Zoon, not with an N, not an M. Zoon.
Zoon.
You have it?
Yeah.
There we go. So, wait, what version? Oh, you got a slipcase version. Look at you, Mr. Fancy. Did you get that back in the day or no?
No, dude, I got it on eBay for like $5.
You fucker, you. I think I just paid like 10 for my copy. I have the copy. I don't know where it's at. So Carl kind of rebrands Fields of Nephilim into the Nephilim, and they put out this album Zoon, and it's very much a Ministry meets Frontline Assembly meets Skinny Puppy meets Metallica album with a little bit of Fields thrown in, the old Fields.
Yep.
And Marty was like, man, you got to grab that. And I grabbed it and I liked it. And I do like it, but I didn't spend a lot of time with it on this one. Like I kind of goofed. So give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I think you said it well. I'm not going to go into the songs because I didn't write anything down about what song sounds like what, but
Right.
you hit it on the mark with the ministry. You know, it's very, very different than the other stuff, but it still has that Fields. Sometimes they'll come in with that same vocal on some of the songs. And
Yeah.
some of the songs are really like, I think the last song, man, there's like some really heavy like guitar stuff and like heavy stuff and dark.
I mean, this is by far their heaviest album because it's very
people are like,
industrial.
oh yeah, they changed into a death metal band. It's not death metal at all.
No.
It's just industrial metal.
Industrial metal. It's industrial metal. Yeah, it's
right. It's gothic industrial metal, but it's done really, really well.
Yep.
Where they bring the best, I think, of Fields and then add it to an industrial sound. So
right.
If you like that kind of stuff, I like this a lot. I think Matt was the one that told me to grab this. So I grabbed it and he's like, you got to grab that, dude, if you like Ministry. And we're throwing Ministry a lot around on this. It doesn't,
right.
It's not
a Ministry though. No, it's
right.
not.
It's not like, oh, it sounds just like Ministry. It does.
And I have to admit, I am not a huge Ministry fan. I love Frontline. I love Skinny Puppy. I just never could really gravitate to Ministry, but the heavy riffy guitars is probably what you would be.
Right.
Would
That's what I'm saying. So it is like you're saying, it is like Frontline and Skinny Puppy mixed with Fields and mixed with Ministry, but it doesn't. The guitars sound different than Ministry, I guess. I'm just using that as an example of industrial metal. So. Right. But yeah, it's a really good record that a lot of people don't know about. So if you like that kind of stuff, definitely check it out. It's basically like a gothic industrial metal record. Really good.
I have a couple quick thoughts. And this came out, I'm trying to find the release date on it. Do you see it anywhere? Trying to find the fucking date. I don't.
96?
90. Is that right?
Yeah. 1996.
All right, 96.
Beggar's Banquet.
And the last Elizium, the studio album, was 90, and then they did touring after that. And I think then that there was just sort of here it is. 96 by the Nephilim. Now it's spelled differently, by the way. It's NEF. It's not NEPHILM. So
does that mean this is actually Nephilim now?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, instead of Nephilim, it's Nephilim. So I don't know.
Who knows?
But I will say that it's, for me, I like it a lot. Is it necessary? Probably not. Is it something that I occasionally will throw on? Yeah. And, it's got a lot of chuggy sort of, Metallica meets, what's that band? They did the album Demanufacture.
Fear Factory.
It's got those guitars on it, right? But then it's got a lot of industrial percussion, industrial drums, industrial programming, and synth and stuff.
Yep.
So it's kind of the mixture of those two. So a couple of quick notes on it. Still Life / Exodus, very Ministry, very thrashy, but still gothy. Shine, less overtly metallic and more dreamy. Haunting, probably my favorite track on the album. More sisters than the metal thing. Penetration, crushing riffs, machine gun riffage, very thrashy. That scoop mid sound is overwhelming. Melt, sound collage, instrumental, sort of spoken word. Huge droning chords. Huge lonely synth killer track. Really cool. Venus decomposing, very thrashy and chuggy. Kind of Metallica song with Carl howling over top weirdly. Pazuzu Black Rain, chugga chugga, chugga chugga, chugga chugga, chugga chugga,
dude. I love that.
Chugga. chugga chugga. One more, chugga chugga. Riffage, just dig the riffage on this one and the thrashy but straightforward rhythm. Zoom 1 and 2, really cool mellow track at first.
Yeah.
Very gothy and more like Elizium. Then it morphs into saturation. It gets more tribal and vitriolic and huge sounding. And then Zoom 3, Carl is crooning in a Hussy-like atmospheric, otherworldly vocal. If you don't know who Hussy is, that would be Wayne Hussey of the Mission UK, also of the first Sisters of Mercy album. And then it builds. Carl's vocals twist in pain, desperation, and unhinged as it builds. And then Coma is just sort of like an instrumental at the end. As much as I love Fields and metal, I kind of feel like Carl overdid it just a slight bit here. There's no bad songs on it. It's not that I don't like the album, because I do, but it gets a little stale, and there's some repetition, and there's a couple tracks in here that are super long. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
All right. Last one, Morning Sun. I don't have it. I have it, but I didn't pull it out. Let me.
I didn't get to listen to this one.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No.
All right. This one is. Oh, wait. Hang on. I have it. I just didn't. I don't know where it's at. It's kind of buried somewhere. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. So that's the album cover right there. In 2005, Carl decided to rebuild and bring back the Fields of Nephilim. And I'll give a little bit of history on it real quick here. It came out November 28th, 2005. Fourth studio album by English goth rock band Fields of Nephilim. Carl is the only original member to be featured on the album. It's the band's first studio album since Elizium in 1990. So what's that? 15 years. Wow. McCoy, along with John Cappuccino Carter, original Nephilim collaborator, spent 18 months recording new demos in McCoy's mobile recording studio dubbed the Ice Cage, which took them to various places, including Norway. According to McCoy, Ice Cage sessions generated enough material for a double album, yet it was ultimately decided to narrow the track down to one disc. While McCoy has suggested that additional musicians were recruited for the recording process, the only identified persons involved in writing and recording are John Cappuccino Carter, who worked on Zoon, and McCoy's daughters, Scarlett and Eden, on backing vocals for the title track. McCoy has admitted to having applied pre-programmed drums on some of the tracks, stressing at the same time most of the drum parts were created by a real human being. So, since it looks like it's just me that's talking about this, I love this album, man. I love it. Love it. Love it. Might even be my second favorite behind Elizium. It's got the same drifty, spacey, atmospheric Elizium vibes, but it's man, there's just so many really killer songs. Now, Dennis, this might not be for you because there are some long-ass songs on it. But I think that's what makes it kind of special, actually, weirdly. Shroud begins very beautifully, synthy washes, and Carl's vocals are super processed and ominous and incredible. The album overproduced? Question mark. Maybe, but that's why it kills me. It's so processed that it's stunning at times, and you do get lost in the soup of the process of the production. Look straight into the light. Look straight into the light. Oh, it's so good. That chorus is so good. Look up. Look down. Look up. Look down. Look straight into the light. That's the chorus. It's so good, man. Crazy cool. Lots of cool bass synths on it. Over the top synths. Fucking killer. New Gold Dawn. Carl doing his best Wayne Hussey impression at times on this one. Very Mission UK. Killer. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Requiem. Very synthy and almost religious hymnal. Very spacious and massive sounding. Carl's world-weary vocals and Carl's world-weary and sadly broken vocals really make the track special and in an intense way that I dig. Zyberia, droning and moaning, industrial, distorted, tortured vocals, snarling, set to a tribal techno beat. Good track, reminds me at times of Frontline Assembly or Skinny Puppy, and I even hear Ogre in Carl's delivery. Probably my least favorite track. She absolutely love this dreary metal shoegaze ballad. So killer. Is it too long though? Question mark, question mark. Yep, pretty much. So what? I still dig it. It reminds me a lot of a weird alternative universe version of the song One from U2, oddly. Not sure why. Mourning, Sun, epic as fuck. Just the best song on the album, man. Enough, just enough. Just a beast of a song and pretty much the epicenter of killerness on the album. Builds into a behemoth, tons of breathy, menacing atmosphere and heavy riffy power chords. Very metallic, almost has a Type O negative vibe to it. Again, is it too long? Yeah, it probably is. Of course it is, but who cares? Fuck you. Just listen to it. I'll drown in this track forever and be just fine in its hypnotic, narcotic sound. And then the final song is In the Year 2525. Do you know that song?
No, I didn't hear the record.
No, but it's not their song. You never heard the song In the Year 2525?
No.
It's by two dudes in the 60s called Zager and... It's either Zager and Zager and Zager or somebody. And the song is... The lyrics are... In the year... It goes... in the year 2525... Don't know if man will still be alive. Don't know... La, la, la. You never heard that song? We're going to listen to that at the end. We're going to listen...
familiar, actually.
We're going to listen to the original version because it's public domain. It's a killer song, and the cover is killer, maybe a bit long. Really wild, though, man. But I love this album. 9.5 out of 10. It's a little long, although I don't mind it mostly, to be honest. So it's incredibly dense and thick with eons of atmosphere and dark gothic metal beauty. It's a masterpiece, dude. Love that album. So Elizium and Morning Sun, the two crown jewels for me. For you, you dig the Nephilim, the second album. And we talked, you love the first Devastation album. What's it called again?
Violent Termination.
You notice how vested I am in that one. I like Atrophy a lot. Or no, Idolatry.
Yeah.
And then for Nasty Savage, I think I got to go with the debut, man. I love that album. Yeah. You probably Indulgence.
I like Indulgence, yeah.
Yeah. And then for Blue Murder, Dennis goes with the sophomore release.
Yep.
In was it No Trouble?
Nothing But Trouble.
Nothing But Trouble. And the boy here goes with the debut. And I'll tell you just one last time. I'm fully confident in my masculinity and my sexuality, but come on, man. Come on, look at John Sykes there. Is that not a handsome fucking dude or what? Look at that hair. They all look like pirates of the Caribbean.
Right?
All right.
I thought that was a Running Wild photo shoot.
It does look like a Running Wild photo shoot. Exactly. They're the precursors to Running Wild. So, Dennis, we've come to the end. We did it under 3 hours, which is cool. We've come to more or less the end of another Forgotten Metal Gems. I had number 7 on there, but I'm not sure if that's right. I went back and looked. I think it's right. It might be number 8 or number 9. I don't know. Who knows? We didn't keep up with these every single month like I wanted to, but This is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get into them, and if you get sidetracked with something, it works. So what I wanted to hit you with was, have you any bands for the next session?
I was thinking of a couple, but I think one I want to throw out there is probably Atrophy.
They just put a new album out, didn't they?
It's coming out. It's not out yet. I think it comes out this month or next.
Well, I actually have an advanced copy of it from the label. I'll have to check it out and let you know.
Okay.
I don't think I can share it because if I share it, I think they bone me or something like that. But I just saw it. It's pretty cool. Artwork looks pretty cool too. I was thinking, man. Go ahead. Atrophy. Who else?
That's all I have for now.
Atrophy. Okay. So,
if anybody wants to chime in, anybody
want to chime in with some possibilities? I had a list here, but I'm looking over my. Hold on. I'm trying to find my list. All right. So, what about Wang Chung? No, I'm just kidding. I love Wang Chung, but that's not a metal band. Where are my fucking... Damn, what happened to... Hold on, man. I'm trying to find my list of... Well, I definitely want to do the River Dogs, okay?
Okay.
And we'll do all three. We'll cheat a little on that because they only have 3 albums. They have one in 90 and one in 92. And then they put one out in 2017. Vivian Campbell's in the band, so that'll at least maybe make you less scared. Man. Dude, what happened here? Where did my list go? Hold on. Is this it? Like, dude, I had like a whole fucking list of bands that I wanted. Oh, here. Is that it? Right there. All right. Wait, is this it? All right, hold on here. I got a couple of them here. So, what do you think about Kingdom Come?
Okay, we can do Kingdom Come.
What's that?
I think I've heard the first record, but
oh, I'm sure you've heard the first one. Yeah. And then what about TNT?
Okay.
Do you remember them?
Yep.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't have anything by TNT or Kingdom.
I have all of them. All the 80s and 90s stuff. Let me look here. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on.
How many records does TNT have, though?
Well, they have a lot, but in the hold on. Oh, come on, man. Are you serious? There we go. They have first album was 1983 called TNT, which I don't own because it just came out it's kind of a mixture of what ended up it's only in Norwegian. So I'll look for that one. The second one is Knights of the New Thunder in 84, Tell No Tales in 87, Intuition in 89, 92 is Realized Fantasies, and 97 is Firefly. So we're almost doing a deep dive on them.
Yeah, I don't want to do a deep dive on TNT. It's too many records.
I think you're gonna like them though, dude. Actually,
I'm good with like 1 or 2, like the 80s records.
All right, let's do the 4 in the 80s. We'll do TNT, the debut, Knights of New Thunder, Tell No Tales, and Intuition. I think
All
you're
right.
going to like a lot of those. And then River Dogs would be 3. So that's 7. And then what are people in the chat saying? Anything?
If you're doing TNT, has to be mentioned.
Oh, the chick. Yeah. I don't have that one. That one's hard to find, from what I understand. What's this? Who? Fatal Maim. Fatal Maim? That's a band name?
I never heard of them.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what the? Hold on. That looks like it's 23, though. The band Fatal Maim. So they put out an album in when?
It says 91.
Does it? I can't read it. It's so tiny. Never heard of them. What do they like, Rick? They look hair metal-y, sort of, kind of. Maybe. How about, do we want to talk about that 80's band?
Oh, yeah, let's do 80's.
All right, so we'll do 80's. And how many of theirs is there? 3, 2, 3?
Probably 2 or 3.
Here we go. New Jersey's Hades. They have.
Yeah, they only have 2.
They have 2.
Yep. Resisting Success, and if that one you don't, that one you just got.
Yeah, the one I just got. If at first you don't succeed. They do have one in the mid-90s. Do we want to look at that one or no?
No.
All right, so we'll do Hades. We'll do 2 of them. We'll do 4. We'll do 4 TNTs. So that's what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right with 3 bands? 7. No, 4 and 3 is 7.
Yeah.
Plus, wait, no, it's 9.
1, 2. TNT has 4 records in the 80s.
Yeah, that's 6. Plus 3 is 9. So we can get like 3 more under the gun. So 1 more band. What about Heavy Load?
Wait, are we doing Atrophy?
Oh yeah, how many is that?
So they only have 2.
That's it?
Yep. Well, they have. I don't think they have anything else.
Let's see. Thrash, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they only have 2 records. One in 88 and one in 90.
What's the names?
Socialized Hate and Violent by Nature.
Yeah, that's a band I've always meant to check out. So yeah, all right. Let's do that. So write that down.
All right, so we got
2 by Atrophy.
I don't have a pen.
All right, let me do it on my thing. So we got 2 by Atrophy. Come on, man. Where the fuck's it? So what are the name again?
Socialized Hate and Violent by Nature.
We got River Dogs. We're going to cheat a little bit there and do 3, even though there was really only 2 in the 90s. And then they took it long. I think you're going to like their stuff quite a bit. So we'll do the one stretch we'll do is the 2017 album, California. The other 2, one's called Bone, and the other one's just a debut from 90, and the second one's Bone. All right, so then we got TNT with 4 albums in the 90s, starting with the debut, which is just TNT, through Realized Fantasies. And then what was the last one we said?
We had River Dogs, TNT, Atrophy. What was the other one? I don't remember.
Fuck, what was it? Somebody tell us what that band was we were just talking about. There was another band we were talking about. Fuck. Damn it. Who the hell was it? Hold on. 80's.
80's, that's right. 80's too.
80's too, yeah. So we'll do those. So that's a total of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a good number.
Yeah, and Rick, we should do Warfare next time.
Who's Warfare?
Warfare from the UK.
Don't know him. What kind of band?
It's like speed metal thrash type stuff.
Frederick's already got a heart on. He's probably sporting a Woody. Atrophy. There we go. I know Atrophy. I don't know them, but I know them. Yeah. So that's probably what we'll end up doing, guys. Now, just wrap up. Man, once that stuff gets warm, it's not as tasty. And when we're gonna do it, I don't know. We'll try to shoot for March. We'll see what happens. We are gonna do. Dennis and I talk. We'd like to do a slasher edition in March of the Catacombs of Depravity. So it'd be episode 5, I guess. And I'm shooting to try to get another episode of Desert Island. What's it called? The Desert Island series back. Going to try to do traditional metal. So I'm putting it out there to people that are interested. Hit me up about traditional metal, and we'll try to get that Island series wrapped ready maybe for the end of the month, very beginning of March. I have tomorrow at noon, I've got Isaac Falk from Blood Incantation, Wayfarer, and Stormkeep joining me for one of the gas mask granular deep dive interviews. I've got Hamish Glencross from Godthram and My Dying Bride, and Valenfire joining me on the 19th, I think, at like 2 in the afternoon. I also think I have a interview upcoming with a blackened death metal band called Necro Wretch. Vlad is the main guy. They're really cool. If you like the great old ones, or you like bands like Cloak, you'll dig Necro Wretch. They're pretty cool. They're in that vein. A little bit of Blue Das Nord too. And then I'm going to try hard to get 1 or 2 more interviews done, but I am going to try hard to get the Dream Theater deep dive going. Probably just going to be me and my friend Dave, so we can keep it, sometime under half a day long, 12 hours, something like that. I'm just kidding. We're both Dream Theater fans, although me a lot less the last decade, maybe. I just don't find I'm a huge fan of LaBrie's vocals anymore. But, they were a very pivotally important band to me once upon a time. So we want to try to do the deep dive on the Dream Theater catalog, but it's going to be probably just Dave and I doing it as opposed to a big, group. So what about you, Dennis? Anything happening there you thinking about doing?
No, I got stuff I'll probably be doing. Probably give it, I don't know, maybe a week or 2. I might do something. I got something in the works, but
you always like to do you always enjoy doing the whatever they call them, the viral ones where.
Oh, I just do those because they're easy. Because I'm like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
Or if I see someone else doing them, I'm like, oh, I'll do that. I got this or whatever.
I'm lazy. I just don't feel like digging all my shit out unless.
Yeah, I mean that becomes a pain too, because then you got to put it all away again.
Yeah. That's the only mega problem for me is finding all those different things.
Yeah.
And not just grabbing the easy stuff that's out, because a lot of my stuff's in different closets and different boxes. Like, fuck, man, do I really want to dig through that for all that stuff? So, but yeah, man, it's been fun.
Yep.
We always enjoy ourselves doing these, and it's cool to to hang out and chill out and do these. We did do Sortilege, right? Yeah, we did them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've done a lot of cool bands. We pulled some nuggets out, and yes, is TNT a little more hairy than yeah, but I'll tell you what, man, Ronnie Latecro, what a guitar player! Holy fuck, god damn, that guy fucking jams. That'll be fun. Hades is going to be the thrash element. Atrophy is pretty thrashy too, right?
Yep.
And then we'll do River Dogs would be more like the AOR hard rock stuff. And if you like Blue Murder, I think you're actually gonna like River Dogs more a little bit, maybe, possibly, maybe. So anyway, anybody want to throw anything out there, Dennis, right quick? Anybody got any questions? Anybody got a burning desire? Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Shit. Hold on. One moment, please. Let's see. Am I? Yeah, here we go. So we'll do that, and then we'll pull this up. And here we go. So, guys, if you're watching right now, I'll drop this on you now. If you haven't seen it on my Instagram, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Is that fucking badass or what? Man. What's that?
Killer.
So yeah, that is Lee's from Lee G's, literal Lee G's, Heavy Art Talk. That is his design for the Gas Mask and Hand Grenades channel. That is going to be the t-shirt design. Gonna put those up for sale in the next week or so. We're gonna put a logo in here somewhere, not sure where or how yet. And I haven't dropped this on Lee, but I'm thinking about making it a two-sided thing with some, like, maybe like a back saying or whatever they call them. And the thing is, shit, I think I got rid of them. Devin, where were some of those? Devin, if you're watching, what were some of the sayings we had in the back? One was like, if it ain't Rush, fuck off and die. There was another one, all you pink panty wearing posers, suck it. So there's a couple different things we're thinking about putting on the back. Probably not that. But yeah, so catchphrase on the back of the tee. There you go. Yeah. So if anybody has any catchphrases they want to drop in this video after the video ends, throw them down there. I don't want to hear it that Jeff has some kind of a sex child, wild child desire for John Sykes. It was all jokes, man. It was all jokes, man. But you can love who you want. I'm totally cool about that. But yeah, so that is coming. That is coming. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a video up with final reveal on the artwork and the price and with shipping. And then I'm just going to ask people to hit me up privately, like on the comments, let me know they want one, and then hit me up privately, like on Instagram initially. And, this might be a 50 shirt run, might be a 20 shirt run, might not be a run at all. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, But yeah, I think that artwork that Lee did is absolutely killer. Thank you for doing that, Lee. And yeah. So there you go. I think that's it.
Cool.
About it, man. So, Dennis, I'm glad we got it done. Took a little while, but
we got it done. It was fun.
We managed to get her done. And I'm gonna have to not do anything tonight. I'm gonna have to study a little bit for my subject tomorrow, a little bit of the history, and we'll kind of go from there. But hold on a minute. Oh, okay. No. Okay. Anyways, Devin was telling me about Cathedral. There we go. All right, Dennis, hang on a sec, all right?
All right.